Oh.
Hello. Thank you for joining us for session number 12 of the what? 13 of the Unsung Tales. I can count, it's fine. In a one-ring actual play on the HappyJacksrpg network. To find all the sessions of this game, please visit happyjacks.org/unsungtales. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks network, you can visit happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I use she, her pronouns. I am your Loremaster for this fantastic adventure that we have no idea where it's going, but it's amazing. And these are our players. Let's start with Samantha.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'm going to be playing Runa of Bree, who is a Barding treasure hunter and likes to climb stuff.
Boy, does she.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kaya. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am playing Aerlind of Mithlond, who is an elf of Lindon and a captain at that. And he uses he, they pronouns.
Howdy, folks. I'm Jay, and I'm playing Burl, Sausage Brandy-bottom, a Hobbit of the Shire, and a messenger at that. We both use he, him pronouns. And, yeah, happy to be home, but a little worried about, the Shire right now. So hopefully we'll be able to fix some of that today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kadave. Both my character, Hannar, the Dwarf, and myself use he, him. Yeah, I think Hannar's excited to go fight something. Been a while. And Hannar actually wants to do something impressive and not just be like the machine that just like none of his combat actions have been super fancy. So he's like ready.
Mm-hmm.
His time is now. I can feel it.
Time is now. All right. So Dave was kind enough. A few episodes ago, we were in Mithlond, and I was describing like elvish alcohol, and I used Dave's actual real life like tea liquor that he makes, and he was kind enough to make a batch for us today. So we are all sipping on this, and it's just as delightful as ever.
So good.
It's so good, right? It's like the weirdest. It's like a very comforting thing that will. Like knocking your ass real quick. So it's very good. And
you can also drink it hot.
It sounds like it would be.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, really.
yeah, it's very good. It's like sweet honey, like Earl Grey.
It's the
alcohol.
coziest cup of tea.
Yeah, it's so good. But anyway, so thank you, Dave, for sharing so that everyone else like knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
A taste of Mithlond.
a taste of Mithlond.
Home.
That's what I'm gonna think every time we drink it now.
Oh.
You just have to make it like all the time for me.
I'm just gonna get a call at like 11 p.m. on a Thursday.
I'm missing Mithlond.
I need it.
Just put the recipe in the show notes. And
Yeah.
All right. So last time on the Unsung Tales, we took a big left turn that I wasn't expecting. We were starting our journey. We decided we, being you, took the Palantir to Rivendell. So we started our journey phase. It's a very long journey from Mithlond to Rivendell. So we decided to stop in Michael Delving because it's one of our kind of safe places along the way. While we were there, we stopped by Sausage's town. And we, on the way in, because of just the happenstance of how the journey mechanic works, there had been a fire that in a field, and you'd helped the farmer and his husband with that, and helped save their farm, helped save them and like their house. Unfortunately, they lost a lot of their crops. You found out later, as you progressed through your journey, that there were these things called burnt beasts that were kind of roaming the land. You'd seen some like large paw prints that looked very much like very big wolves, if wolves were as big as Ranyar. And you knew Aerlind just kind of from like the stories, kind of how these things worked. Most of the people in the Shire weren't really still aware of them. Like there were some that were like, oh yeah, there's these big monsters, but they're still hobbits like stories and rumors, and they pass them around a lot. So there wasn't a lot of hard facts there. But Runa was able to scout and get some information that though they are formidable, that they are in fact just animals. So they're not like, like making evil plans and like plotting. So maybe there's someone like giving them like commands or something. But for the most part, they seem to be wandering around like wolves would. So there is some like preservation going on and wanting to attack and eat people, but it's not like the same as like a malicious giant evil fish who's trying to take on everybody. Yeah, so that was where we were.
This hasn't defeated generations.
No, it hasn't.
Hobbit.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, well, it's a role-playing game. What can you do? So you have decided at this point to, instead of continuing on your journey, you were thinking of sticking around and staying and helping the Shire with this problem. One very fun side note that I'm going to save to the end because it was the most delightful part of last time. Hannar, our dwarf, was very concerned and trying to warn people, like, hey, be careful of the fires. There's fires around. And he also still has this habit of carrying the sugar candy that's shaped like gems. So he accidentally started a new holiday for hobbits in the Shire when he was going from house to house, looking a little bit for information and a little bit of reconnaissance, but also knocking on doors, warning, hey, there have been fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. As the children were constantly being fed this candy, and he failed his scan rolls, so he was not able to tell the little hobbit children apart because they kept switching up their clothes. So they just got so much sugar. So there's now a new holiday in Michael Delving, where each year they talk about the fire dwarf. And they go from house to house getting candy. So that is our new little addition to the canon.
The Shire doesn't have the dog days of summer. It has the fire dwarf.
The fire dwarf.
dwarf
Yes,
comes.
exactly. Yes. Any important bits that I left out? No.
I don't think so.
Perfect. We did also create a pedal keg.
Oh. Yes. Why don't you explain that part? That was hilarious too.
Aerlind was trying to get them to make mobile water, which makes sense because fire, and of course being hobbits, they were like, and we put alcohol in it.
Yes. That's right. The very Irish, hobbit that was also the carpenter.
Yes.
Yes, that was very funny too. You gotta love hobbits. They always end up in the good places usually. All right. Yes, that was Marvinius Grain Carver. Yes. Proud of that name. All right. All right, very good. All right, so why don't we pick up where's everyone staying? Are you all staying at Sausage's home?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
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 Got everything ready for you all?
Okay. Why don't we pick up with maybe you're waking up the next morning?
Sure.
So you'd warned everyone, you've gotten this contraption into their head of how they can move this water if there's another fire. You've gathered information about what is the truth of these animals and the threat on the Shire. One more important thing, you figured out that they are kind of moving about the Shire, but it doesn't seem like a calculated tactical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like migrating or moving animals, which was kind of your big thing there.
Right.
But I just wanted to remind us of that because there were the hills that they were kind of
Yes.
going north along the hills that are on the map.
You also
Seems like-
built traps.
I did build some traps.
That's right.
Yes.
We didn't have you roll for that though.
We did not roll for that.
Okay,
no.
so I'm going to have you roll for that.
Okay.
Don't forget that our fellowship points are replenished.
Yes.
Sausage, I'm going to have you take a +1 hope.
Okay.
Because you have now, that last little bit I forgot to say, you've now started a romantic kind of relationship, not fondness. There's a exchange of obvious feelings between you and Petunia, who's your childhood friend, and you've actually acted on it. You kissed her.
Yes. Yeah.
And she gave you a flower pressed in a handkerchief with her initials on it.
Okay.
So to keep kind of for safety. So that I'm going to give you a hope point to kind of represent that.
Thank you.
No problems. And all right. So why don't we start kind of the next morning? You're waking up.
Sure. I'm going to get up earlier than everybody. Do you?
Aerlind wakes up pretty early.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe not as early as you. But the sound of this sort of like like sizzling sound fills the burrow, and the smell of like cooking bacon and breads being being warmed and the sound of dishes and plates clattering as as I set a spot aside for everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna make this big, huge, gigantic, hearty breakfast for a hobbit. It's probably like breakfast and lunch for like other folks, but we're gonna be stalking them hills, and so I want to make sure I'm fed and you're all fed.
Awesome. Now, are you doing the thing where you're trying to prepare breakfast quietly, or are you doing the thing where if you have guests and you want them to wake up, you're kind of preparing breakfast like a little loudly?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm necessarily. I think I'm not even thinking about how I'm doing it.
Okay.
So I'm not being extra loud,
Okay.
not being particularly quiet. I'm just like, I gotta get myself fed because I gotta eat
Sure.
something because I'm gonna burn a ton of energy like getting rid of some beasts. And so yeah, I think I'm actually kind of busying myself with that too, because I've got a lot to be nervous about right now.
Yeah. All right. So the rest of you are awake,
Yes.
Aerlind, or asleep? What is Hannar doing?
I think Hannar is sleeping in. Like, until somebody wakes him up, I think Hannar walked around a lot yesterday.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Like, for a day that we weren't on a journey, this was a lot. And on the journeys, he usually has the horse. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
it's a thing. So, I think Hannar's kind of resting up.
Okay. Oh yeah. Also, you just had a long rest too for your endurance. So let's clean that up. Let's fix that up a little bit on your character sheet.
We just lose one fatigue.
Yes.
We went over this last time, making sure
Okay.
that we're doing it right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well rested.
Still
Yes.
down to 3 fatigue.
I mean, could be worse.
I'll spend this whole game fatigue.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Erlen's always just a little tired.
It suits him. It's fine.
The weariness of the elf.
I feel like also it's sort of designed that way. It's like because there's so much journey, just so much.
Mm-hmm.
Really makes you wonder, like, how is Aragorn able to run that far?
Lots of
long.
endurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of endurance.
Being 80.
Yeah. Well,
He also doesn't
still
carry
the-
a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Like,
that's
he's
true.
not fully armored up, like running across with shields and everything else.
Like a big backpack full.
Yeah,
of
he's
it,
not-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Broadswords are big, though.
Yeah.
This is
Sure,
true.
but like not as much as like a full set of plate armor
Yeah.
and
And Gimli keeps up with them.
Mhm.
And in the books, there's not like the bumbling like joke. Oh, I can't keep running. Like that's not in the book.
When they're the hunters, they just go.
Yeah, they just go.
Yeah.
They just it's amazing. Yeah. All right. So you're all right. And Runa?
I think Runa is sleeping in. I feel like when we're at a place that's like a safe place, like one of our houses, she is the type of person that like sleeps in late and can sleep through anything, except for the smell of bacon. That will absolutely wake her up.
Yeah.
And then if you haven't gotten up early enough, the crunch of bacon.
Mm.
I'm gonna.
That
pour
like
over
jolts
maps
up
of
right.
this
No,
area,
the bacon.
So sausage, because I haven't had dinner and I want to like punish myself. Can you describe this Hobbit breakfast that you've made?
Oh, good lord. Okay, well, so certainly like a huge plate just piled high with bacon, and it's not just like regular bacon; it's like brandy cured bacon.
Oh.
I'll
And
genuinely just swallow.
I know.
brandy cured bacon with herbs crushed over it. Let's see.
Yeah, content warning. If you're hungry, you might
I
want to
know.
skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah. The dinner that I have certainly would compare to what my imagination can cook up right now.
Right?
You know what? I'm gonna say that he's actually gonna get up early enough to maybe he prepared some dough the night before, and it's like and gave it the night to rise, and so there's gonna be freshly baked bread with Hobbit butter, and the butter probably also has brandy in it.
I'm gonna share the pain for just a second.
Sure.
So I want everyone else. So you've been to Sausage's house quite often. It's like one of your regular stops as you go around. I want each one of you to share the favorite thing that Sausage makes for you that you get to eat. It doesn't have to be a breakfast food, but just as like flavoring, and not allowed to say like tea. I already did that one.
Fresh, warm bread.
Mm.
That nice hobbity, loved
Mhm.
bread infused with herbs and things like that.
Mhm.
It's definitely more rustic than any of the breads that the elves would ever have.
Mhm.
And they're delicious and buttery and just.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm gonna say that in addition to butter, I'll roast some cloves of garlic.
Oh.
You can just, they'd spread right out of the clove and on.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Runa's favorite is like the Hobbit version of shepherd's pie because it's pie, but it's got mashed potatoes on the top.
Yeah, that's how can you go wrong with that ever?
Yeah.
So good.
This is a terrible idea. What have I done?
Yeah.
I think Hannar really loves the fact that hobbits make sautéed mushrooms with alcohol in it.
Oh.
Like a sherry. Like the dwarves don't do that.
No.
We have a lot of mushrooms and it's just
Love
like
mushrooms.
make them food. Just
Yeah.
okay, it's hot. eat.
Mushroom steak.
Yeah, just big sliced, huge portobello mushroom caps. But I think the whole idea of like throwing a mess of butter and sherry and herbs and stuff in there and cooking it all up, and then it's like almost like a mushroomy stew. It's so good. I think that's Hannar's jam.
Awesome.
I make a flambe.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
mushrooms. You pour the sherry on it, and then just have the little fireball burst
Yeah.
into the air. Fills the room with the aroma of mushrooms.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Delicious.
I think when you get up, there's also freshly picked herbs just sitting on the counter.
Oh. Okay.
Aw.
All right. All right. Yeah, did you get up and kind of like tool around in the garden a little bit?
Aerlind got up and kind of realized that leaving Mithlond again was really healing.
Hmm.
And there's kind of a newness to all of it. And he's done this before where he's gotten up and kind of touched the garden and spruced it up a little bit and brought in herbs, but he hasn't done it in a while. And I think that this was just the like return to when we first met.
Oh.
And that
I love
fondness
that.
of like, you have a beautiful home.
Mm.
Let me care for your garden the way that my people care for plants.
That's so yeah, I see those and I kind of realize the same thing. That it's been a while. And I kind of just pause at it and I look at the herbs and a little smile just curls up on my face. Yeah, and I go about chopping it and like portioning them in little cups to set aside for all of you when you're ready. When you're ready to sprinkle that on your bread and garlic and bacon.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I want to kind of tie in our emotions from last session. So now we've kind of set like the scene. We're all feeling relaxed and at home, but so we've got the Palantir. We're supposed to be headed to Rivendell. We've come across this danger in the Shire, which is very clear indication of shadow, like becoming more powerful in the world. Even if these are not beasts like a Balrog or something like that, this is definitely not something that generally would be in the Shire and something that poses a very serious risk to the agricultural communities that would live in a place like this. And we just left someone's home and we just have all these emotional touch points. So I just wanted to kind of do kind of a check-in and have each of you kind of explain where you are right now as far as how you're feeling, where your kind of goals and your focus lie. And it's okay if it's not necessarily with taking care of these burn beasts. You can know that that's an important thing without having that be your major focus. Or maybe that is your major focus because it's your home or whatever it is. So does anyone want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So I think the kind of like increasing shadow and like what are we gonna do with this Palantir and like the shadow that she already has is like really weighing on Runa, but the situation with the burned beast is almost like a welcome distraction. It's like, this is a problem I can solve.
Yeah.
I have a sword. I know where they are. This I can do. And so it's a little bit of like the kind of like stress and horror of the darkness like surfacing is kind of a background noise for her right now because she's choosing to like focus on something I can deal with.
That makes perfect sense. Awesome.
I think Aerlind, kind of picking up from that nice touchstone with Sausage, is finding, to make a ship joke, fresh wind in their sails.
Okay.
Having Círdan's blessing this time around when leaving really helped them feel like they were doing the right thing and not just avoiding the inevitable, which was what was kind of going on before.
Yeah.
And here and now, there's purpose. There is a clear reason, and he doesn't feel like he has to hide that he's fighting this darkness. He has told Círdan, and Círdan's like, I understand, and you need to do what you feel like you need to do. And so to that end, it is very healing to be out and feeling like he has agency in this destiny. And kind of almost the flip side of what Runa has going on, that this is the first presenting of the shadow to him in a way that he can directly confront. It's not a distraction, it's the beginning.
Awesome.
I think Hannar is actually feeling a little unstable. We've just been to Mithlond, which is someone's home. We're here in the Shire, which is someone's home. Hannar doesn't really have home. And I think it's starting to bother him. Like, he's trying to figure out where home should be. And, like, he's gotten old enough now that he's not just satisfied being a wandering merchant. So I think he's kind of on the lookout for, would he want to spend the rest of his life in the Shire? Would he want to go back to Mithlond? Like, everybody there was nice. There's plenty of real estate.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I think he doesn't know. So he's kind of in that unsure about what his next step is kind of situation.
Awesome.
Sausage has a lot of feelings mixed up in this.
Yeah.
Because obviously I want to protect my home.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel we have this mystical ancient object that I want to get to safety because, again, like, every second that we're here, is that bringing something worse closer to the Shire?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do right by the world, but really, when it comes down to it, I want to protect my home and my people, you know, and this new relationship, this friend who became more than a friend the night before. Right now, I want to protect them more than anything. And I feel like, of course, I want to take care of this problem. But by dallying here, is there another price that I'm going to have to pay? Is there going to be a ripple that everyone around me will have to deal with?
Yeah.
Like somewhere down the line. And so I think Sausage, I find it comforting to be here and to just be focusing on this task and like taking care of my friends. There's just a little layer of anxiety underneath.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. All right. Are you all at the breakfast table?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say it's been long enough. There's been enough bacon cooked now that everyone who needs bacon to get up in the morning is awake and everyone's at the table. And you're all munching on first breakfast of the day. And why don't we have you roll for your traps?
Yes. So I'm
So
going to roll
hunting?
hunting? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I know it's on there somewhere.
We know you're good at it.
Yeah.
The dice will hear you.
Accurate.
Oh, no!
They did hear you.
No!
I failed,
Okay.
but I got a 6.
Okay, so you failed, but with a success.
No I.
No I.
Okay, no I. All right.
I
Thank
good
goodness.
failed. I don't know.
Okay, we'll say that you set up great traps. You did a really wonderful job. But these creatures, just from how they are, are going to be able to like break free of them, and
Okay.
so they maybe have been damaged a little bit, but they weren't able to stop them in the way that you had anticipated.
Okay.
So, because I feel like with the success, like you should have done a good job, but it just like sometimes, you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it'd be a good trap for large wolves.
Yes.
So it's
But
a
these
wooden
are-
trap.
these
Yeah,
are
that's
not-
what I was kind of thinking.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fire, wood.
Yeah. So that's sort of the thing because of the intense heat from the creatures.
Mhm.
Like even though you did like, you know, you're smart enough to put like, okay, because you're an amazing hunter. Like there's metal bits that probably cut them and stuff a little bit, but for the most part, you were having to use like stuff that's around the Shire,
Yeah.
wood and sinew and things like that it very easily does burn. So that's
makes
kind of
sense.
been the problem.
Okay.
But you don't know that yet.
No.
So you set up your traps and you think you did an amazing job, and you did. But so you're at the breakfast table. Do you want to have a scene here where you're making plans? Do you want to jump right to exploring?
I mean, I think we have a pretty good idea. You know what? I'm gonna be chewing on some bacon, and I've got some maps spread out, and I'm going to say, so Runa, you mentioned that you saw these treks leading into the hills just to the west of Michael Delving, right?
I did. Yeah.
West and north. All right, all right. I've been up in those hills myself. They're generally harmless, but if these things are there, then I think we should have a look around.
It's a good place for them to hide. Not a lot of traffic through there. A lot of brush and trees. They can move in about unseen. So it's a likely place for them to bunker down for the day, the hottest part of the day.
What time of day is it at this point? I know everybody slept in. Is it like mid-morning
I mean,
ish?
yeah, it's late for fantasy adventurers, so probably like 9.
Sure,
Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
so I will say it's like between 9 and 10, probably in the morning.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
You think we should wait until the sun's a little higher before we start stalking out there?
I do. I think we want to catch them when they're at their most unaware, they're most tired. They're not going to want to move around when the sun is high in the sky.
Right. Well, I'm glad we have you here to give me that advice. I probably would have just gone charging in there with my spear and gone myself eating or something.
Not with me on watch.
Do we have any idea on the numbers of these animals?
Oh, that's a good question.
You made a roll last time. There weren't like a lot of them. It wasn't like a full like wolf pack, but there was more than one.
Right.
So your
okay.
guess is between like 2 and 4.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm good like passing the time.
Yeah.
Just at the bungalow and waiting until the sun goes up. Maybe before the sun is at its highest. It's gonna take a little while to walk there, right?
Yeah,
Out there.
yeah.
So we set out, and then
Like 10:45, we start hiking or whatever.
yeah. I'm going to. I ask everyone, if we can, let's avoid being spotted.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about the folks of this here neighborhood watching us jumping off into the woods.
Agreed. I made a large circuit around the town yesterday, and I think we can skirt the town, take a little bit of the long way around so no one sees.
Yes. Sounds great. Sounds like a plan.
Sausage. Do you have any like bottles you'd be willing to part with permanently?
I like. Oh, of course, I've got a few, and I will walk you to like a basement, like a cellar, and there's just like shelves of the bottles from like my family. My family's old like, brandy and brewing tendencies. Big ones, small ones. They're like large. What do you call the jugs with the little,
Yes.
with the little
Yeah.
teeny little
Those
handles?
are perfect.
Yeah, there are a bunch of
jug
those
man
like
jug.
growlers or whatever it is. Yeah.
Growler.
Yeah.
growler.
So there are like growlers of all sizes, and then there are like fancy bottles that were obviously used to bottle like fine gift versions of, and then there are still some empty casks, and then there are like the reserve, like the fine reserve that I just haven't touched, that nobody's touched in a while, that's just aging there. So yeah, whatever you need. We got something to set fire to, stuff to...
Well, I think
You
we want
know.
less fire.
Okay, all right. Are we going off for these things to drink?
I think. Well, hear me out. If you have empty bottles, we fill them with water, and then you throw that at the beast, which is on fire, and then it's less on fire.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad you're here. I think I would have offered the beast a drink. And so, yeah, I take some bottles. I'll like just grab them by the armful. I'll haul them up the stairway, and I'll start, oh, that bathtub that I filled up with water.
yeah,
I'm gonna fill
perfect.
up the bottles from that bathtub. Yeah.
So funny, all the fair songs I know that are like this, the different measurements of beer are running through my head. It's like, is it the gallon, the half gallon, quart, pot, pint, pot, half pint, Joe pot, half a Joe, quarter Joe, nipperkin, or the brown pot? Like, seriously.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love it.
Incredible.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
This is the full butt.
Yeah, there's more verses to
I
that
just
song.
learned
That's
that a
just...
butt is an actual measurement.
Yeah.
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 I just learned that though. So
Yep.
fancy that they came in.
All right. So you're making your way like stealthily. I'm not gonna make you roll stealth because you're like in your neighborhood. They're hobbits.
I feel like I should.
You know what?
I'm pretty stealthy. It'd be fun to roll.
Well, and also you know what? Now that I think about it, especially Hannar, because you are like on everyone's radar.
I just made myself famous.
Yeah, and all those kids know you have candy.
Yeah.
So
And it's like a Hobbit child zombie invasion out there. Like they're just wandering around in that haze of like the day after.
they had a
and
good
they're-
sleep.
Sure.
They bounce back. Kids bounce back from sugar
all right.
highs. But they know now. Like
yeah. So
the
they're-
great dwarf, and they've told the ones who didn't know yesterday, like, oh my gosh, the dwarf has candy.
So there's some that are like in a tree branch.
Yeah, they were
and-
like waiting. They
down the
probably know
street,
you're
yeah.
staying at Sausage's house. So I'm gonna actually have you all roll. Hannah's gonna have to roll the highest. Sausage, you're like the least interesting, so I feel like you probably can like barely get by in.
Can I borrow some like Hobbit clothes to put over?
Sure.
goodness.
Yeah.
Like
I've
a
got a
Hobbit
series
cloak
of
or
travel
whatever.
cloaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I actually feel like this might be a good use of fellowship points as well.
Yeah.
We all try and like make you less conspicuous.
I like that.
Yeah. Use
Yeah.
as many
Yeah.
as you need.
Yeah.
We're gonna have like a moment where like you're all ready to go and you step out and then like there's like all these kids
Like the
all
whole neighborhood stops and just looks and we're like,
Yeah.
okay, hold on, we're going back inside.
yeah.
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
kids are like, there he is! That's the dwarf with the candy! Hey, it's a fire dwarf! And then you're like, and go back.
Well, no, we have to set up like the whole like misdirection situation of like getting the president out of a
Oh,
scary
yeah.
environment. We're like, okay, so the first limo's gonna go out and go to the right, and the next one goes left. And there's
Aerlind's
just
gonna
these kids
leave,
chasing after.
obviously into town and then
Yeah.
vanish.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, you're so stealthy.
Okay.
You're invisible.
I'm invisible.
I made it with a Tengwar, so
Great success.
Ooh.
I made it with 3 Tangors.
Oh my God.
oh,
Why would anyone look at an elf when the fire dwarf with candy is standing right next to them?
God.
3 Tangors.
I
Wow.
rolled 5
That's
dice
crazy.
on this
Wow.
roll because of my
Intense.
gift from
Yes.
the lady.
That's amazing.
yeah, we're all just getting ready to go out the door and kind of get going and trying to be a little stealthy, and we're all like, okay, Aerlind, let's go, and we're just like,
The last you saw, Aerlind was drawing their cloak around them, and then you look
Yeah.
back and there's no one there.
You're floating into the hills.
there's just a billowing curtain left.
As a D&D like social media and Twitter would be like, rolling well on stealth does not make you invisible.
Okay, but it's more
Yeah,
fun
but
that
it is
way.
But yeah, you're not quite a ghost, but almost a ghost.
Or Aerlind's just a full Batman, like smoke bomb.
But it's just mist.
It's better that you walk outside and you're like, I think he has candy again. And then poof, nobody looks at you anymore.
I need Hannah. I can't do that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It would be so funny.
All right. They're
Just a
back.
regular success for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Regular success.
All right. And Hannar, you said you had a success.
With a Tengwar.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm gonna say then that you go out like the side door. Like once you've made your appearance, like all the kids are like obsessed with the front door, and you backed out, and then like you can have like you have a side entrance.
Yeah. We have the entrance where family can sneak out, during big celebrations and they're kind of done being there.
Yeah.
We have the discreet entrance.
I mean, I would wager also if we are like doing up Hannar a little bit and kind of taking our time, Aerlind would be like, "Hello, I'm very obvious, and I know that I'm very quiet when I want to be,"
Yes.
and would just walk out the front door
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as the distraction.
Yes. There you go. And then, oh wait, okay. So yeah, between all of this,
Then some of the kids are like, "The elves give candy the day after?"
oh, that's amazing. All right, so between all of this, you managed to kind of sneak out of Sausage's house near Michael Delving, and we get the kind of the image of there's still all these kids like waiting like in your little front yard. Like they're kind of getting bored. They're not just staring at the door anymore. They're like sitting and they're playing like the little hand games, and like some of them are chasing and some of them are just kind of like knocking on your door.
Oh.
Yeah. But as you're like sneaking out like of town on the other side. So you manage to make it out. Everyone, or at least most of the town, still thinks you're in the house hiding from all the children. And you are in the hills that run north, almost exactly straight north, north to south, to the west of Michael Delving. And that is where you had laid your traps.
Mm-hmm.
You get up there and you see, okay, yeah, the traps were perfect, but yeah, there are burn marks on these traps.
Okay.
That's very clearly like they served their purpose. There is a little bit of blood on some parts of
Okay.
it, so they did do some damage, but it's hard for something that like something that's with spikes to like. When the tension, like sinew and stuff like that burns, like there's no
Right.
more there. So that's kind of what's happened.
Okay, but it looks like they've been tripped and they did some damage.
Yes, some of them did. Yes.
Yeah. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Mm-hmm.
It bleeds, which is really good information
Yes.
to have.
Yes, absolutely.
And we know they're up here, or at least were. Can I tell from like any tracks near where the traps are, like which direction they went from here?
It looked like they continued north in the
Okay.
hills. Probably because they were injured. That
Mhm.
probably that's not something they're used to. So they're like, whoa, let's get out of here. Yeah, go somewhere a little more remote, like animals tend to do when they're a little bit
Okay.
afraid or if they've been hurt.
Awesome. I would like to try and follow the tracks north.
Okay. Will you please roll hunting for me?
I will. Would anybody mind if I use a fellowship point?
No, we are all in this.
Okay, Dice, you have to do a better job this time. That was a worse job.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
I passed my target number, but I got an I.
Oh. All right. So but that doesn't mean a negative. It just means like it's a 1. So
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
mean an automatic
So-
failure, don't forget.
Okay.
So Gandalf means automatic success. But so you did succeed.
Right.
Okay.
But in a bad way.
I mean, it's not great. But you are able to follow them up. And we'll say that you figure out that there are 3 of them.
Okay.
Which that's going to be the bad luck bit.
That's not great.
No. All right, so you're following them up. And yeah. We're going to say, and you specifically left because we talked about how they had been nocturnal last time as well. So you'd
Mhm.
specifically picked, like, you wanted to meet them at midday if possible.
Yes.
You do kind of get the feeling that you might be gaining on them. They don't seem in, like, a particular hurry, and they are also maybe, like, one of the, it seems like as you're following the tracks, one of them is fairly seriously injured.
Okay.
So they might be moving a little slowly because of that.
Awesome.
Is there any smoke?
It doesn't seem like it. You can, like, with your keen elven senses, smell there's like a little bit of like a singed smell, and all of you would probably notice that there are places where like branches are a little bit singed. It seems like they don't just set fire to everything they touch. It seems. It seems like things that might get like their coat might protect like a very hot like skin underneath. So things that kind of brush against them and get past that layer of hair, that those things tend to get singed. So it might be the case where if you were to like touch them and keep your hands on the floof, probably be very hot, but it may not burn you. But like under that is kind of, it seems as you're looking, like there's a clump of hair a little bit, as animals who go through the forest sometimes have, and then it's like singed underneath and stuff like that.
No scritchies.
Yeah, no scritchies.
Only pets.
Patsies, yeah. And Rainier's still with you, and he's kind of assisting. I should have given you another die. I meant to do that last time, so. But you made it. You had a success.
It wouldn't have changed the eye.
No, it would not have changed the eye. But he's on alert, and he's definitely kind of confirming like what direction you think he's going.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Why don't we have everyone roll awareness, please?
Okay.
Or scan. If you're like, I guess you're all actively looking for these things. So why don't you roll scan for me, please?
Thank you.
And for me, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of equal either way.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a lot of dice,
Oh,
and they don't add up.
Better.
Oh, good.
better. Okay. So I succeeded by a lot with the Tengwar.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I didn't have a great chance of succeeding, but Gandalf pulled through.
Ah,
Oh.
very nice. We'll say that you're not too far from Michael Delving yet. You have been in these hills. You know them really well. So, Runa and Sausage, you both are suddenly kind of aware that there's something like up ahead of you. Like you're starting to hear like snapped twigs, things like that, some growling. You know, when dogs are part of a family, but they're kind of in a bad mood and they kind of like growl and like that's sort of
Talking.
they're talking at each other. That's kind of the sound you're hearing. Not
Okay.
actual literal talking, but like doggy, like bad mood talking.
What is the terrain like? Is it like, are we, in a gully or a valley? Are we on a slope?
No, you're going kind of north. So there's slopes going this direction. So you're
Sure.
kind of going parallel. So you're not going up or down. You're
Yeah,
traveling
yeah.
at the same
Elevation.
elevation.
Sure.
Picture kind of if you would like the Irish countryside hills. So
Sure.
they're pretty tall, but they're very kind of gently sloping.
Kind of
They're very
gradual.
climbable. There's some forest, which is kind of the part that you've been a little bit. It's not super thick. And a lot of like grass in the areas where there aren't trees.
Okay.
So very gentle kind of rollicking hills.
Okay. Runa, I'll kind of like sidle up close to you and just as quietly as I can, I'll say,
Surprise the
Oh,
show.
here's a cricket.
Random cricket.
Oh.
I thought it was just something fun.
Get out of here.
Attacked by a cricket.
Yeah.
I was just
I thought
sitting
it
here and I was like
feathers.
thinking like, okay, what's Hannar doing? And then all of a sudden it was like,
Yes.
So I'll get up close and I'll say, do you think we should stick together? Or do you think we should try to,
I'm tempted to flank them, but with these numbers, I'm not sure that dividing us is a good idea.
stay together then?
It sounds like they're close ahead, though.
Okay.
If we can catch them by surprise, that may help.
I think we've been out long enough that Hannar is like grumbling about his feet.
Mm.
Like, that's probably why he failed so badly on scan, because he's just kind of annoyed and
Well, and you spent all the yesterday walking too.
has achy feet.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Well, I'll turn to you, then I'll say, I think we might be close.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. No. Just...
And I like pull out my axe and start using it as a walking stick with the hand on top of the blade. Like,
I think while that's going on, Aerlind automatically starts to fade to the back because he already knows, like, this is already where I'm going to be when this fight starts, so I'm just going to start back here, and pulls his bow.
Okay.
And I'm going to, have my spear leveled at this point, just kind of in front of me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ready my sword, but also one of the reverse Molotov cocktails we made.
Very nice. What was in that exactly?
Water.
Water?
Water.
I don't know if you added some sort of
Dousing agent.
foam or
Sand.
Yeah, baking soda.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any hydrochloric acid. Otherwise, I could make it an old-fashioned
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
fire
I've had a lot of old
extinguisher.
fashioned in my life, but I've
Not
never
that kind, yeah. Same.
Old-fashioned fire extinguisher.
Oh, fair enough.
That's
fair
what's
enough.
in there. There's like
Yeah.
a little canister of it, and
Little ampules.
yeah, you have to turn it
It's
upside down,
wild.
and it like weird chemical reaction happens.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't accidentally crack it and murder yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Danger.
Around you?
What? I do have 2 of those in my house.
Oh.
I think all the while, even though we're kind of sticking together, Aerlind's starting to look at the trees. And looking, is there dry trees? Like, is this maybe a situation where we could get stuck in a firestorm?
Ooh.
And B, if there's a good perch, if the trees do seem nice and wet.
Ah, okay. Very good. Let me open up our thing. Let's see. We've kind of talked about how it's been a little bit of a drier
Yeah.
season. So even though it's morning, there's like slight dampness and dew on things. It's not like a wetness that is permeated like the
Cool.
foliage. So from your knowledge of trees, like these trees, while they're not like dry or dying, they're definitely like something that would probably burn fairly easily. Like it takes a while for living wood to catch, but it could definitely happen. You're a little bit more concerned with kind of the grass and the brush and stuff that's kind of around
Cool.
the base of everything.
I think then to that end, Aerlind's gonna get one of the jugs and actually re-put his bow on his back and start with a jug of water in hand with the very skinny shipwright arm that he has, ready to douse the first sign of fire, I think, more than anything else. Because firestorms are scary.
Yes.
And as a shipwright, he is profoundly afraid of big fire around wood.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Okay, I hadn't
Especially
thought
when
about
there's
that part.
tar in ship making.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I feel like elves wouldn't use tar. I feel like they'd use like some sort of sap or
Sure,
something
it's
like.
still all very
Oh no, 100%. But just like tar seems so like crass for elves, but who
Sure.
knows? I don't know. I might
Some sort
think
of
them too
beautiful
fancy.
amber sap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly kind of what I
Yeah.
think. It gives like all the wood like this golden hue.
It's actually why the wood is white.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they pull it all out. That's so good. We've just created so much like great stuff. Okay, I love our game. Okay, so yeah, you are kind of coming upon them, and those of you who kind of had the good like scan rolls, I'm gonna say you like can actually see now. Like one of them is pretty injured and limping. You can see now they have like this dark fur that like goes like it turns white as it gets longer. So like the tips are kind of like this almost white color, and then it gets darker as it gets closer to the
Ashy.
yeah.
So
That's exactly what it is. As it gets closer to the root of the hair, it's like darker color. And you do see that there are times where they kind of like move. If like the hair like wafts up for a second, you can kind of see that their skin is like a deep red color. It's not like glowing, but there's definitely like a contrast there.
Good fire boys.
Good fire.
Friends, Frenchie
We'll see.
for Kai, not for Aerlind.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is limping. It looks like its back leg is like pretty severely injured. The other ones are kind of like come on, like yeah, they're not leaving it, but they're definitely like aggravated that they're going this slowly.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there are some red spots on the other ones too in a couple different areas, but they don't seem to. It doesn't seem to be really impeding their movements at all.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. And
About how tall are they? I haven't seen them yet, but just so we can get it out of the way, about how big
we
are
said
they?
Ranyar is the size of like a pony, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like sausage could probably ride.
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, like we'll say like if Ranier's like about like 13 hands, that's that's like 4 inches per hand.
Yeah.
So
Good
yeah. So like back is probably about here.
Okay.
They're big.
Jeez.
They're very big. So for those of you who can't see my hand, sorry. So that's like probably like 3.5, 4 feet off the ground is their back. So they're big, Bernie doggos. So, all right. So they're also, because they've been injured and because they're not used to capable hunters in this area, they're a little bit relaxed. They're not taking a bunch of time, and but you know, all of you, because you've all been hunters at different points, you do not have a large amount of time before they are aware of your presence, if any at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to sneak into chucking range
Okay.
so I can throw some water at whichever one is closest to us.
Okay. I will give you a let's do we're gonna start off with first time you guys have a surprise attack. You get to
Okay.
start off with opening volleys. So you do not have to make rolls. They are not really paying attention. They're not on watch. They are the dominant predator for a very long range, and they haven't really been worried about it. So they are, and they're injured, so they're a little clueless. So we're gonna have you roll stealth one more time.
Okay.
Okay. Succeed with the Tangwar.
Okay.
I succeed with a Tangor.
Great success.
Nope.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We gotta stop doing this.
And
All right, I'm gonna give you an option because I should have remembered in the rolls. You can also roll hunting if it's higher.
No.
Okay.
Oh
all right.
no!
No.
Okay. Well,
okay, real quick
Well,
before.
I'd have to.
Sorry, go
I'd
ahead.
have to do the like. My target number is 1 lower with hunting, but I roll 1 less die.
Oh.
It's kind of
Oh.
yeah,
that's dicey.
yeah.
Ha!
So I'm gonna stick
I'm
with
gonna X
just
myself
no.
for that.
Okay.
I am out of tone. Okay. All right.
Real quick before anything else happens, I'm going to spend my Tangwar
Okay.
to invoke the Hobbit art of disappearing, and I'm just
Okay.
going to like fade away into the trees, and then whatever Hannar does, like in the trees, I'm like, you know, I make this little kind of like, oh no face.
I almost like it like the other way better. Like you're walking next to Hannar and you're like, I am stealthy. And Hannar, what happens, Hannar? What do you do?
Well, I think like I've just been trudging up the side of this mountain all morning, and
And
it's just
hand on your
just
Aw.
walking stick axe, and I think like I bring the axe down and I hit a rock,
Oh, okay.
no.
so,
So
it
there's
makes
like
that
clink.
firm clank
Yeah.
noise instead of just dirt. And then I kind of look down, look at everybody else as they all are like taking position.
I think when you look back, Aerlind has also gone and has jumped into a tree.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I picture, like walking, okay, we're going to be stealthy, clink, and then like the Hobbit and the elf disappear. Oh. And you're also stealthy too. So,
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a shrub.
yeah. So,
Oh boy.
unfortunately, the opening volley, if, let's see, reasonable distance. I don't know if you lose it. This one doesn't
I
say.
think we still get it.
I think you
but
get it, but I think it's less. Like I think you don't get it, Hannar.
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
But that's okay, because I'll stand here and go, ah, and distract them so they don't.
Yes. So you hear there's this clink that runs out through there. And you usually get one volley. Double parry if shields are aware. Doesn't say. Oh yeah, surprised. When ambushed. Surprise can be determined
So-
fictionally by roll. Sorry, we haven't actually had a surprise where they get to surprise someone before.
Nope.
So, if we were all successful, they would get no volley attack at us in the first round,
Got it.
and they would get no first close quarter attacks.
Oh, I see.
But I fouled that up. Sorry.
That's okay.
So,
But you still get an opening volley on
Yes.
them. Okay. So those
Okay.
of you with ranged attacks may take it now, and then we'll do stances.
I'm actually going to not because I'm holding to stop fire, but I would like to prepare a shot
Okay.
instead.
Absolutely.
Do something I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And I do succeed. So I gain 1d6 on my next ranged attack.
I'm going to throw a water bottle at the burning doggos.
Okay.
Kinda-
You said the closest one. We're going to say the closest one is the one that's injured because it's kind of lagging behind the others.
Mhm.
Okay. Should I roll athletics for that?
That seems legit. Feel like there's no put the fire out skill, so
It's like a shot put. That's a sport.
That's terrifying for me, but yes.
What? Why would
Hey.
you do this?
Oh no.
your dice do not
But do
like
you make it?
you.
No.
No.
Okay.
With the Tangwar. No, with the Tangwar. Again.
Why is this today?
I don't know. You
We're
guys
gonna
are
say-
doing a bad job.
Yeah, we're gonna say that you throw it, it hits the doggo, it
Uh-huh.
kind of flinches, and then you just see like steam rising.
Okay.
Ooh.
So the water didn't like they're very hot, and it burned off and evaporated the tiny bit of water that you were able to fit into this little glass thing.
Maybe not enough water.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy. So I think at this point, like, the anxiety like fades away and the Hobbit heart kind of starts beating. I'm not great at the ranged thing, so I think it would make more sense for Sausage to just kind of run in, spear out right at that injured one. We're gonna try to take them out one by one.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to, I'll work on that one first. So,
That sounds good.
does that mean I kind of close the gap this turn or this round, and then start acting next round, or do I get something this round?
Yeah, if you're not taking a ranged attack, then there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do
Yep.
for opening volley.
I'm just gonna wordlessly, like,
Get ready.
Naruto run.
Invisibly
Yeah.
Naruto run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing some of my cheat sheets. I don't know where they went.
Ruh-roh.
That's fine. They're somewhere. I'll find it. All right. So they do get to turn around and they attack. I do want to also bring our attention to remembering that you can do special damages if you want, but and that's on our cheat sheet too if you want. But we also don't have to. It's up to you. Some of them take a little bit of extra time, and instead of you making your attack, you can do. some
And that's what
extra
I was
things.
doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Finally did one.
You did one. So what was the effect of the one you chose to do?
For the prepare shot, if you roll scan and you succeed, you gain 1d6 on your next ranged attack. So I
Got
did succeed.
Yeah. So that's kind of the cost benefit. Like you take a turn to do something, and it benefits your next turn or someone else's turn, but you don't get to actually attack that turn. So that's kind of the weight of it. All right. Let's go ahead and on our sheets, go ahead and put yourselves in, on our Jamboard, go ahead and put yourselves in the stances. And we will switch And just for reminder for everyone at home, for rearward stance gets to go first because they've got, or no, they go last. Forward stance goes first, forward open stance, then defensive stance, then rearward stance, and then the foes go after everybody else. And again, despite the a little bit confusing name, forward open defensive is more, it doesn't actually speak of your place in the battlefield. You're all in the same place. You're all in melee combat. It's just the style of fighting you're doing. You're either being more aggressive, more offensive. You're being like kind of guarded and or neutral. And then rearward stance is
Defensive.
ranged.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Ranged. I'm like, dang, where you're
Can't
far
attack
away.
with or be attacked by melee weapons.
Yes. All right. Everyone put yourselves where you want to be. So we've got Runa, Hannar, and Burl, Sausage, Brandy-bottom all in forward stance, and Aerlind is in rearward stance. Let's start going then. So let us pull out the foes. I can't find the cheat sheet for combat that I really like. I don't know where I put it. That's fine. I've got like 4. They're just not my favorite.
Is it this one?
No, I have like one that's
It's this one.
no. There's a bigger one for the Loremaster.
Oh, you have your
Oh,
special
I
one.
get
I have a special
Okay,
Loremaster
well,
one.
Can't help you there.
I know, it's fine. If I have to, I can print out another one. But okay. So let's go ahead and get started at the top. So our forward stances are first. So for you've all chose your stance. Everybody set. And the way we do it with multiple foes is I'm going to assign one of the foes kind of to each of you. They're pretty nasty friends. So good Bernie doggos. And that's just kind of the way that works. You can team up on them if you'd like. We're going to say that phone number 3 is the one who's kind of injured and the one on that's kind of lagging back from the others. Let me make sure they're numbered on my sheet so I can keep track of them. And all right. I am also going to, because we discussed how they were nocturnal creatures, they will be rolling ill-favored since we're in the middle of the daytime.
Good plan.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a good plan. Okay, and I do have 2 of the 12-sided dice, which is good. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. One of you go first. Who's in the forward stance and wants to go first?
I mean, you were
Yeah,
running.
yeah.
You were
Okay. I
running.
was running up to the injured one, so
Okay.
I will kind of go from tree to tree until I am at the tree closest to it, and then I leap out from the tree, kind of spear, aim down at this thing.
Since you're in forward stance, don't forget to take 1 extra die.
Sure. Let's see. Ooh, that's not going to do it though. I miss, and so I land next to it. Spear kind of like boom, thrust into the ground. I start trying to pull it out. It's a little stuck on a root.
Okay. Yeah, you missed, and Hannar or Runa?
I'll go.
Okay.
Do I have to attack a different one?
We're gonna say foe 1 is on Runa, foe
Okay.
2 is on Hannar, and foe 3 is gonna be on Burl.
Gotcha.
The way it kind of worked out, when you turned around, the 2 that were healthy and not as hurt, like took these big leaps after you did your shoot. And so Burl running forward is closer to number 3, who again being injured didn't take that big leap.
Right.
So they're a little bit ahead of you, and then the other 2 jumped back to kind of attack the party.
Gotcha.
And then Aerlind is like farther back. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So I am going to run up and take a swing at the closest one to me. So
Okay. So number 1.
yeah. So my attacks are favored against enemies that are might 2. Do I roll favored here or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, you
Okay.
and ominous.
do. Yes.
Well, yeah, I suppose. It is a positive and a negative, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Come on, swords. Do the thing.
Go sword.
Yeah. Good job, dice. That's better. Okay. So I got a 12,
Okay.
and I got a Tangwar.
Wow.
I
Wow.
succeeded a lot.
A
Back,
lot.
everybody.
That's amazing. All right. So you got a Tangwar, so you can spend that Tangwar, don't forget,
Yeah.
on the extra stuff. So you can do a heavy blow.
That's the one.
Yeah, okay. That adds strength damage plus it's a one-handed weapon or two-handed?
Two-handed.
Two-handed, okay. Plus 1 for a two-handed weapon. So your strength plus 1.
Okay, so plus 5.
5, very good. Wait, 5 total, or what's your strength?
My strength is 4.
Okay, and then
I
plus
get the
1,
plus
okay.
1 for the yeah.
And then what's the sword damage?
The sword damage is 6.
Okay.
So
six-
11.
Okay, wow. So
No matter what foe you prepare, you cannot discount Runa just
No.
murder.
Yeah, every time. Runa hit good.
Hulk smash.
So what does it look like? Again, like we're not going to be gory about it, but like heroically, what does this look like?
So the sword I'm using is Spirit's Touch, so it is
Yeah.
my Ghost Blessed sword.
Yes.
So I feel like it generally glows in the presence of spirits, and these are not spirits, but it's a magic sword.
Yeah.
So it's gonna do a cool ghosty thing. So I feel like normally when you see a sword like cut through the air,
Mhm.
you don't see the like air moving, but you see this like
Motion
kind of
blur,
ghostly like motion blur.
I love that.
And then it collides with the creature.
Mhm.
And maybe like almost not like sparks, but like light
No.
like sparks up from it.
Nice.
Ghostly.
And also, I'm going to add like steam.
Mhm.
So like the chill of the dead, like versus the heat of these creatures. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and like you hear this, and I don't want to get to, because I know a lot of us care very much for doggos here.
I know.
But these are evil bad doggos. But if at some point, please make sure we're using the X card if I'm getting too out to you in my descriptions. But you hear this like snarl of like, "Arr," of like this animal's never had something fight it that is like it's equal. So sudden it is surprise and anger that you are able to bite back as hard as you are. All right.
Awesome.
All right. I feel like Hannar is like a very old steam locomotive,
Okay.
right? So like he hits the thing, everybody does all these things, and he's just like, all right. And just starts huffing up the mountain.
You're good.
The monster jumps towards him, and he's like, "Yes, it's a little bit closer." But then he just runs up, shield on one arm, and just takes a full swing at it. At number 2, the one that jumped towards him.
Okay.
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Wow.
You said it was your
It
day.
is Hannar coming through. Here we go. So he got a 10.
Mhm.
That counts as a piercing because he took keen on his axe.
Oh.
Now,
I'm going to tell you they do have a parry of 1, which just adds 1 to the TN that you have to reach.
That's
Which
great.
I'm telling you now because you seem in a good place and like that's not going to ruin everything.
yeah.
You still would have succeeded too, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I figured.
By a lot.
Just double checking.
she crushed it.
Yeah, I thought so.
Absolutely no problem because so the 10 counts as a piercing blow.
Yep.
Oh.
The injury number I have on my axe is 20.
Oh,
So you
Wow.
have to roll higher than that, I think,
Okay.
to not be injured.
to not be injured by that. Okay.
Oh yeah. We didn't do the injury rating for mine, did we?
No, because
not a piercing
Yeah, it's not a
blow.
Oh, not
piercing.
piercing. Okay.
Yeah, because this is the thing about like
Right.
endurance versus actual wound.
Yeah.
So while
Right.
you're hurting the doggos, it's not a wound mechanically. It's a little confusing, but it's okay.
You're
They're
just
getting real
wearing,
big. Slower.
wearing them
Yeah.
down versus
You're wearying the wolf.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
you
Uh,
hit it too.
And then there'll be additional things I have to do after this.
Okay.
Wow. So you really just did it.
Because I got 2 Tengwars also. So
Nice.
So
Extraordinary
feet
success.
die plus armor, and they are rolling ill-favored because
Yeah.
it's daytime.
Oh,
So
my.
yeah, so their armor is 2. All right. So that is a 15 total.
not good enough.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
I don't actually know what happens after that. I've never
ooh.
gotten this before.
Woohoo! We're learning new things.
Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a wound, whatever that
Yep,
mechanic
it takes a
is.
wound. So generally for most things that would take it out of the fight, these are a little bit meatier.
Tougher, right.
Yeah, so but one is good. So you like kind of describe what it looks like.
Ooh, okay. Hold on. I have to like de-res my brain from NC-17 descriptions.
It's not a horror movie.
It's hard with an axe. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
okay.
you can describe like taking it out or something, but like you just don't get gory with it.
Sure, but like, I think it's just a solid thudding hit into
Okay.
its thigh. Like,
Okay.
just like maybe he was even aiming for the neck, but it was running at him. And
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think,
Oh, okay.
so then he just hammers one home.
Yeah.
Like just Babe Ruth
Yeah.
with an axe
Absolutely.
into its side. So it probably gets knocked sideways a little bit with
Yeah.
the force of it. So in addition to that, I still get the regular endurance damage.
I don't think so. I think you get the wound.
Okay.
I mean that's massive.
Sure. What becomes of the Tengwars that I got then?
Oh, that's a good question.
Plural.
Plural. See, this
Yes.
is where you like. Let's see. Resolution. Damage is dealt to endurance, piercing blows. Yeah, I guess you would. Protection roll versus injury rating or wound. Yeah, I guess it would be both.
Okay. So
There's-
that
Yeah.
and can I choose the same thing twice?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Fantastic. So that's 12, 17?
Nice.
I was really worried about this fight earlier today. My friends listening at home. Okay, so
We were also worried.
Yeah, for sure.
yep.
But Hannar's been practicing. At
Yeah.
night, he's going out and doing dwarven calisthenics, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, you knock this thing and it's like wobbly on its feet. It's kind of doing the thing where it's like you're not sure it sees you straight. Like it's just and it's barely standing on its feet. And it's growling and there's like blood dripping out, and then like when it hits the cool ground, because it's still kind of morning, you can see steam as like it's hitting the ground. Yeah, and it is hurt. It is hurting.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay.
mighty hit.
Mighty blow. All right,
There you go,
Burl. You get to follow all of that.
No, I missed with my spear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went
you missed
first,
it,
so
that's
I
right, you
missed
went
with my
first.
spear. Yeah, so
I need the little cards that the people say. Okay. And then Aerlind.
Seeing Runa's bottle sort of fizzle and realizing this is not enough water to put out a fire, as nice as that would be, Aerlind actually flips the bottle back between his pinky and ring finger and just holds it by the cork like neck, and instead reaches back and draws an arrow with his other hand, just flips the bow because he's extremely nimble because he's an elf,
Of course.
and knocks an arrow to loose it with the bottle still clenched between his fingers.
Perfect.
I don't think I've ever loved an elf more. Just the idea of like drunken master elf with the jug,
Exactly.
like taking a drink as you pull it back.
Oh. Well, it's a good thing I prepared that shot because without it I would have missed. But I did hit. It's not impressive, but I did do it. And that is 4 damage as the bottle flips around and the arrow pulls tight, and I think he just looks down his fingers towards Sausage.
Okay, so it's the one that is attacking Sausage.
Yeah, and just sees the other 2 come in, and they're so ferocious already. He was ready to see them all hit at once, and then Sausage didn't. And the boat quickly just finds the wolf in front of Sausage.
Yeah. And that one is a little bit injured already from the traps that Runa had. I'm sorry, you said 5?
4.
4. Okay. So yeah, it is you hear like a snarl, and it kind of does the thing where it kind of jumps. So there's Sausage on one side, Aerlind shooting from range on the other side, it had its back to Aerlind, but now that it's been injured, it's kind of turned. So now it's still within melee range of Sausage. It hasn't changed, but it's twisted itself so that it can now see you too. So because it kind of knows you're there. So it's kind of facing like perpendicular to where you both are. All right. Let's get started on these wolves. Again, they're still rolling ill-favored. We're going to start with the one that's fighting with Runa. And it is chomping at you.
Hey, grumpy.
Very, very grumpy.
See how bad the situation really is.
Yeah. Oh, oops. I forgot to roll 2 things. Oh, well, it won't be that. It rolled the eye, which would have been great for it, but nope. So let's see. Wow, it rolled 3 6s.
Boo.
Uh-oh.
That's usually my favorite, but not this time.
19, 20, 28.
Oh.
Holy
My
crap.
parry is
Oh
16.
my god.
It is
So-
not 28.
Yeah, it hits you, and it is going to hit you for, we're going to say, it is fangs, it's 11 damage.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ha.
Oh,
And that's
my God.
on what, my endurance?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you have
I
11
can't
damage?
math. Yeah, I have
Oh, okay.
24. So
I was like, do you have 11 endurance? Okay. It was that, wait, am I dead? Like, I
Well,
thought that
my
was the end of
question
that sentence there.
It's like, it's now, my current endurance is now equal to the load I'm carrying.
Oh.
Oh, you're over.
So
Mm-hmm.
you're
So
weary.
you
You
have
need to
to
start taking stuff off or
Shed
dropping things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that, I think, on your next turn.
Okay.
So as your secondary action, you can drop a piece of gear. So on your next turn, you can drop a piece of gear and then take your main action.
Got it.
And it is going to spend. I'm not going to spend all 3 because.
Does my armor do anything?
Oh yes. Well. Not anything unless it's a piercing blow.
Okay.
So, but it is going to try and do a piercing blow on you.
Okay.
Let's see. Add to feat die. Actually, no, we're just gonna do. I don't know if the bad guys get to use those. Sorry, I keep forgetting to look at the microphone. I'm going to look down at my notes so I can speak into the microphone.
Mhm.
We haven't had big like rolls like this before. Even against the fish, we didn't like really run with this. I'm gonna say. We're not going to do that right now. And I'll look and see if it's wrong. But, roll appropriate PC rolls, yeah, no, we're not going to spend, I don't know if I don't think I can use 6s,
Okay.
but I'll find out.
For the special stuff.
Yeah, I
Got
mean,
it.
you guys reckon things anyway, so I'm not
Trying to.
expecting it to like really change the direction of this combat at this point with, yeah, we'll see. All right, number 2. Same thing against Hannar.
I think out of the corner of his eye, he sees that happen. He's like, "Oh, shh."
Yeah. Wow. Both the feet die rolled 9s. This one rolled a lot less well though. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Only 22.
That hits.
It does?
Ooh.
Oof.
My parry's only 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our parries.
These are very stealthy and they're very quick is the biggest thing. It's hard to parry against them because they are very agile and very quick. The one that has its leg messed up might be a little slower. I'll take off 1 die for that. But
Ooh.
so it was 11.
11 damage?
Yeah.
Woo! All right, here we go.
Combat is
I also must begin to shed things.
Helmet first.
yes. As is
As is the way.
tradition of our people.
Morbid way.
And the number 3 is going to only have 3 success die.
Okay.
And this is with them rolling like a favored of everyone.
Parry
Ooh.
16.
Stop
Yeah.
rolling so good.
Sorry. All right. See. 12, 16.
That will do it.
Oh.
Yep, that will do it. Chomp chomp.
Everybody gets a bite.
Chomp chomp 11.
Okay,
Oh.
I must start shedding things as well.
You all worry me.
This is like strip combat.
Yep.
Hilarious, but Xing for two.
yeah. Oh god.
All right. So yeah, these burn beasts are, you can see the change in them. Like when you attacked them, there was this confidence, and they were just like, they just leapt right at you, like no hesitation. And now you see them like they're more injured, they're back a little bit, they're acting more defensively, and much more suspicious and guarding themselves better.
Okay.
Because for the first time since they were probably, since they got to the Shire at least, they are finding themselves vulnerable and like fighting things that fight back. All right, let's go ahead and start round 2. We'll have Hannar go last, so Dave can get back. Burl or Runa?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take another swing at this thing.
Rock 'em.
Okay.
I don't have a lot to drop, so I'm gonna have to take my armor off.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
rip.
Now you can do like each piece, like looking at the weight of each piece.
Yeah, I have a mail shirt
Uh-huh.
and a short sword.
Okay.
The short sword only gives me 1 back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a short sword.
You need it.
It's a wee sword.
Well, that's not my
That's not the ghost
that's
sword.
not
Yeah.
my
big boy.
my
Yeah.
big sword. Yeah, because if I go below, yeah, I'm gonna take my armor off. Okay, so that gives me back.
Now let me see. So it says drop a piece of gear.
Okay,
So you might have to split it up.
Well, it's a shirt.
it's a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I thought you meant the sword too. Were you not going to
Oh
drop?
no,
okay.
not drop the sword.
Just the sword. Okay, great.
just the mail shirt.
Yeah. So if you are weary, which means your load and your fatigue is greater than your endurance, then that means that when you roll 1 through 3 equals 0.
Okay.
Okay.
So the only things that count on your success die are the 4 and the 5 and the 6.
Oof.
Yeah. But if you drop items and get below and balance it out again, then it's like normal,
Okay.
even if you're naked. I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'm asking myself for time.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time doing math. I blame the tea.
It's okay. The tea is very strong. We have strong tea.
You got the strongest of the tea.
I know. And I'm like, oh man, before the combat with no dinner, that was a great plan. No wonder I can't remember the rules, Dave. That's okay, make more.
It was just not at all a part of my plan.
No. All right.
Okay. I can't figure out the math, but I'm just gonna do that anyway.
Okay.
So I think it like chomps her, and the mail kind of like crunches in
Okay.
like a uncomfortable way. So
Okay.
she just rips that right off
Okay.
to be less encumbered.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna take a swing with my sword again.
Okay. So that was your secondary action, and now you're taking your main action.
Yes. Okay. Then I roll favored for that, and I get a +1 for the forward stance. Do a good job. Well, it's not the worst job you've ever done.
I've decided not to speak to your dice anymore, so.
I succeed, but
Okay.
nothing special.
Okay.
So that's going to be 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. All right. It is like barely standing now. It's kind of doing the thing where its legs are a little bit more splayed than it should be.
Ooh.
But it is growling, and there's definitely like you hear that as like some of its blood's hitting the ground, and it's getting like these little steam, like heat things, especially in the cool grass below it that's on the hillside. And I mentioned the thing with the dice because you don't have to take off your armor. If you want to keep your armor on, Yeah, you can balance that out with having zeros on 1 through 3 on your dice, and that's a choice you can make in life.
I would not have succeeded if I did that.
Okay, there you go.
It is a choice.
It is a choice. I don't know if it's a good choice or a bad choice. Only you can decide. All right, let's do Burl or Hannar. Which one would you like to go next?
I can take it. Go
Okay.
for it. Is it so if my endurance is equal to, or if my load plus fatigue is equal to or greater than, I have to start peeling stuff away, right?
You don't have to, but if it's
yeah.
equal to or greater than, you get zeros on the die on 1 through 3.
I'm
Unless you
gonna
take
drop my bow. That's gonna just take me under.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. Yep. It's gonna take me under. And I can burn more than 1 hope point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to burn 2 hope points
Mhm.
to make this attack roll. So,
Actually, let me double check that. I actually might only be able to roll 1.
is it just 1? Okay.
Let
There you go.
me double check.
Sure. Can't remember.
I remember we had this problem before because the cheat sheets say what it's equal to, not if there's a limit.
Oh, sure.
I'll say for now that you can burn 2 if you'd like.
Okay, all right. So I'm rolling a base 2 plus 1 for being forward, and then 2 for my hope dice.
Mhm.
Here we go. Come on. Okay, let's see. That is, I'm pretty sure, 10, 7. Yeah, that is a great success. So I am going to burn my Tengwar. Yeah. That's well, hold on. What's its parry?
1.
Oh, okay. All right. So I got an 18. So I think I'm good there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What's your? It's yours
Oh, my
plus the
TN
1.
is 15, 16. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
you're good.
I got you. Right. So 16. Okay. Yeah. I'm good. Thank goodness. I am going to. I'm going to make that a heavy blow.
Okay.
So I'm going to cause a base damage of 4 plus my strength 3, so that's 7. And then plus 1 for my spear, so that's 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Altogether, 8 points of endurance.
All right. It is also like kind of splay-legged,
It's
and it's kind of looking between you and like where it knows Aerlind is, and like glare, and growling really loudly. And you also hear that's
Okay.
Good hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm enheartened by that.
All right, Hannar.
This almost feels like cheating because Hannar has never mentioned nor used this piece of equipment in our game. But he produces a spear and drops it on the ground. If
No, I remember. And when I remember when you were making your character, you had that.
yeah, because that was like my idea of like his ranged attack.
Yeah.
Right? It was like a one shot just to have an opening volley kind of a weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just kind of always assumed it was like a flagpole in the back and had like ribbons
Yeah.
tied
Yeah.
to it whenever you
Yeah,
run. There's
yeah.
this little
Just
like
standard.
yeah.
For sure. But yeah, so I'm back on an even keel because that surprisingly the spear is 3
Yeah, they're heavy.
to the load. So
Yeah. Well, they're also very like just cumbersome to
yeah, it's
carry.
just
Yeah.
awkward. Yeah, you can't just fold it away and.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. You know what? I like the idea. That was a lot of hit, so I am also going to spend a hope.
Mm-hmm.
Not as fancy as last time, but solidly a hit.
Okay. Including the parry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my TN's only 12.
Okay.
Uh,
That's right. Mighty dwarf.
Yeah. So that's 5.
5.
Additional endurance.
Okay.
I'm glad I spent that point though, because I got 2 ones.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what does it look like when you defeat this?
Oh,
large
it's
wolf?
done.
Mhm.
Oh.
I was not prepared for a first blow of 17. So
Yeah, it was wild.
I think like Hannar pulls back and he swings his axe. I won't actually lean to do the motion, so I stay in the microphone range. He leans back and swings the axe like along the tops of the grass.
Oh, okay.
So like there's this fine spray of mist that kind of travels with the axe,
Oh yeah.
and then he just hits it sort of in the shoulder
Yeah.
and just drives it into the ground.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And we're gonna say like too, like the droplets that like spray into the air, like as the wolf or as the burning beast falls, like it hits like the different wounds and stuff, and you also hear like that sizzling sound of the water from the environment like hitting the body of this beast. Awesome, very good. So that one is down for the count.
Yay!
Goodbye.
Um,
Wolf number 2.
Yes, that was wolf number 2, or burning beast number 2. And Aerlind.
Seeing that the burning beast endangering our hobbit is still up, Runa's got this. You're fine.
It's fine.
We're just gonna, you know what? Aerlind sees Sausage in a bit of peril, seeing how hard that wolf bit, and seeing that it looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the growing sense of dread about the Shire kind of sinks in, and Aerlind is actually going to dig deep into that well of the garden in the morning and the Hobbit children, all of the beautiful things that being in the Shire has imparted to Aerlind, and I'm going to burn a hope to hit this wolf. And boy, do I do it, because that's a Gandalf rune.
Nice.
So we definitely do the thing. So this is, how does the Gandalf rune work in this situation? I don't remember.
It's an automatic
piercing.
success.
Yeah, it's a
and it gives you a piercing.
Piercing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I dug deep for a very good reason.
Yes, you did. All right, awesome. So it gives a piercing blow. So it does get to roll to avoid that.
So 16.
16. Protection or armor. There we go. And it's still rolling with
Ill-favored.
ill-favored. It rolls 12.
Oh.
No. So yeah, it gets a piercing blow. And also, what was the other damage you did?
It was also 4 just regular damage.
Okay. Between those two things, it absolutely describe what happens with this beast that is right next to Sausage, like is ended.
Crouched in this tree still, and sort of just keeping an eye on the whole battlefield, because that's the only way Aerlind knows how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He looks down at this scene, and this dread starts to set in, and it's almost the call of like, you have the power, and before it was you have the power with the Palantir, you have the power with your position, with all of these things, and it was suddenly you have the power to just stop this without all of that. And he looks at Sausage and he sees the home that is here as well as the home that we travel with, and he digs very deep and draws the bow tight. And when the arrow loosens and you hear the water sort of slosh around next to him, the arrow flies, and it just, like, you're holding your spear in the air, Sausage, and the arrow just splits the difference between the spear and Sausage's ear, and it just zips right through, right to the wolf. And the wolf just falls quietly.
Okay. We're going to say, all right, so there's only one wolf left. So these two are off the board. Ish. There we go. This last one is also like kind of on its last leg, but it just heard its companion be taken out. So it's going to use its Great Leap, which lets it attack anyone in any position, including
Sure.
rearward stance.
Mhm.
So it's going to turn, even though it's been paying attention to Hannar, like this of its last other companion, and it's going to turn, and all of its like it knows it's ended, and it's like, no, it's not revenge because it's an animal, but you've dealt the most recent blow, and it's going to leap and it's going to attack you, Aerlind.
I'm also the surprise. I'm up in a tree.
Yeah. So it's going to be like one of these like leap to like grab you, I don't know, like the frisbee dog thing, but you up in the tree. But they're massive good leapers. Again at disadvantage. I rolled a 1. Sorry, I was at a thing, but it didn't matter. So let's see. 12, 17, 18, 19, 20 total.
Oh, yes,
It
absolutely.
hits. Okay. Then it is going to do 11 damage. Yes. I think I'm gonna go back and just retcon a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say, because I do think I like remembering the rules and getting past the strong T. The foes are allowed to kind of spend their tangwars.
Okay.
Or at least have piercing blows and such things. So I'm going to say that they did go for a piercing blow because that was kind of my initial reaction.
Okay.
Now they failed because it adds to the feat die a +1. So
Okay.
that what was on the feat die still would not have made a piercing blow. But that's going to kind of be... So they're going to go for the same thing now.
Go
but
for it.
what they're going to do is they're also going to do a heavy blow for you. So they're instead of...
Both?
No,
my-
no. Instead of piercing blow, they're going to
Heavy.
go for a heavy blow for you. It's like it's last hurrah, and it's going to just try and take out as much more as it can. So
Sure.
it's going to be +2 more damage, please.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I think Aerlind
Ooh.
definitely gets pulled out of that tree.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to have you then... roll athletics for me.
mm.
No.
No?
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm going to have you take a wound then,
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you roll. So the way this works is we have a wound table. So please roll a feat die for me. Just one feat die.
10.
10. Okay, so you have a severe injury.
Ooh.
The value indicates how many days it will take for the injury to mend. But you can be healed if you get first aid. A successful healing roll reduces the severity of an injury by 1 day, plus 1 day for each tengwar, if people have healing. But you can't do that right this moment. You need to
Right.
get back to...
Then on the ground, you all hear him yell.
Mm.
And he does not yell.
Mm.
Ever.
Yeah. All right, and that last doggo, when it hits the ground, we're gonna say that it just like flees, like it runs off.
Mm.
Oh,
So
dang it.
it's... I mean, you can take another shot at it if you want.
Well, I don't have anything to shoot. At
Okay.
it. I dropped the spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, unless I'm fast enough to catch it.
No.
Can I take a shot from the ground while I'm actively in agony?
I'm gonna say no.
No, probably
Mm.
not.
Can I throw a short sword at it?
You can try. Burl, you were gonna do something first.
I have a spear.
Okay.
I would like to chuck my spear at it.
Take
Do you
a
want to
shot.
take? Do you want to take?
No,
that
you should
chance?
go first.
Okay, all right.
You should go first. That makes more
All right.
sense.
And in this case, am I still in forward stance?
Yes.
Okay, so I still get that +1.
Yeah, this has all happened in like a split second.
I'm gonna burn.
Or no, I'm sorry. You can't be in forward stance because you're taking a ranged attack, so you have to be in rearward stance.
Okay, so I don't get that extra
No, you do not.
die. But I'm gonna burn 2 more hope points
Okay, go ahead.
at this.
Your whole
let's see,
heart's in
that's
it.
Let's see. So hold on for a second. It would just be base 2, and then I burn 2 hope points. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I rear that spear back. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, it's an I, so that just counts as 0.
Or it counts as 1.
No, it counts as 1. Oh, okay. You're right. Okay. But I get 10, 15, 17
Okay.
with a great success.
Okay. So you
Uh,
and that's with their parry rating?
their parry is what, 16?
Just
you said?
1. Oh no, it adds to your
adds-
Oh, yeah,
TN.
yeah, it's 1. So
Okay.
yeah, my target number is 16.
Okay, so
I
you
just,
made it.
I make it by 1
That's fine.
with a great success. I'm going to spend that to make it a heavy blow again. So I like really kind of just like I put my
Yeah.
weight behind it as I chuck this thing.
Perfect.
And I will do 4, 7, another 8 points.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It has like 2.
Oh,
it's
thank
left.
goodness.
Like it's literally on its.
Okay.
There's a reason it's running away. So yeah, this thing starts like running away after Aerlind just like did an incredible shot to save your life. You turn around to kind of repay the favor, or at least to avenge like the pain that they've been caused. And you just let this spear loose, and it's just like this perfect arching shot at this burning beast as it runs, and then it's just like right into it. It's like,
Okay.
and then it lays still, and you can see your spear, like the cold steel of the spear, like steaming as it's
Oh,
like
okay, all right.
embedded in its body down
Sure.
like many yards away.
Okay, all right. I look at all of you real quick. I make a check to see how everybody's doing. If everybody's still standing, like,
Except for Aerlind.
Aerlind
Yeah,
is not
you're down on the
standing
ground,
and
yeah.
kind of writhing around on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna run to you, Aerlind,
Same.
and yeah, I'm gonna just start tending to you.
Aerlind, you all right?
Oh, got me right in the leg.
All right. So the way, let's for a moment, let's talk
Sure.
about healing rolls and how they work. A successful healing roll reduces the severity of an injury by 1 day plus 1 day for each Tengwar, to a minimum of 1 day. If it fails, a healing roll cannot be repeated until the last day is passed, as the failure of the treatment isn't immediately apparent. Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yes. So just so you know,
Oh.
you are. Oh, you know what? You're supposed to make a protection roll. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Back and forth here. Go ahead and make a protection roll real quick. We'll see.
Yeah. And I have nice armor.
Mhm.
I get a +2.
Ooh. So feat die plus your armor protection value.
I got an eye and a Tengwar.
Yep, you are injured and laying on the ground under
Yeah.
the tree.
I'm not naturally a healer,
Mhm.
but when I took my ancient dwarven magic knack,
Mhm.
I put healing as one of the things I could do with it.
Okay.
So if nobody minds, I'd like to. You might, unless you're like way better at healing than me.
I have 1 pip in healing, so I am not
We switch our screen though real quick.
best.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. How much do you have in healing?
Well, spending the hope would get me to 3.
Okay,
Nice.
gotcha. Yeah, that'd be the same. I was gonna ask to spend a fellowship point. That would get me to 3 too, but you can go ahead.
Hang on. There we go. So I think I'm trying to envision how this. No, the rest of you actually speak Dwarven, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Great. So, like,
Neocauses.
I think Hannar comes up and he's flicking his hand as he honestly he's pretty beat up too, so as he kind of rumbles up, he starts flicking his hand, and it's almost like he's trying to remember something, and then he's muttering under his breath in the guttural dwarven language, and eventually he kind of goes, you see him kind of do the I'm trying to recall something, so I'm looking up and to the left, and then he gets it and he goes and he flicks his hand, and it's like lighting a torch. So then his hand just starts to glow, and he just goes and puts his hand on the wound. Like,
Incredible.
let's hopefully it works. Yeah, I'll make that. Yeah. 9. That's 15.
Okay.
So yay, that hit my number exactly.
Good.
With a Tengwar.
Okay.
Hey.
So that goes from 10 days down to 8
8
days of recovery time.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I gotta spend that hope.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a second to look this up too, because I want to make
What
sure.
is
I want to
that?
know how often you can roll
I
for
was
it.
looking it up my
Page
own.
101.
Healing 101.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's funny. Let's see. That is the wrong book. I'm like, Mount Grim. That doesn't seem like healing. So I'm having so many books.
Yeah, it can only happen once a day. But that was a good once a day.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it says outside of what you already said.
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to double check if you got like a super success, if you can like do it twice or something like that. Okay. Very good. See, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I see how it's worded. It's worded a little strangely. A failing healing roll cannot be repeated until at least a day has passed. But it's like both of them. It's just like the reason for it is because you can't tell that it failed. Like,
Right.
yeah. I was like, wait, if it's failed and it only happens once a day, why is success only once a day? Yeah. I get it. I know it. I blame the tea. Okay. So you need to now get your friend Aerlind back to some sort of safety. Now you are weary still. You can take the things with you if you want, or you can leave them. Again, if you end up having to make any rolls while you're carrying the stuff, 1 to 3 is 0. But spoilers, I'm not gonna have stuff attack you.
I'm also weary because that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
We're all weary now.
I think we're gonna slowly trudge back to
Yeah.
Sausage's house.
Grab your stuff and
Yeah.
make your way
Maybe
back.
we
Okay.
out of a cloak and a couple of branches, we can fashion a litter to help
Yeah.
with a leg wound rather than hiking all the way back to town.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
Or
think.
maybe Aerlind can ride on Ranyon.
Oh yeah.
I don't weigh a lot. I am an elf.
Yeah.
Drape yourself off.
Why don't we have you do like one of those little pulley, like
oh yeah,
kind of
like
not
a
a sled.
sled.
Oh,
yeah.
Litter, yeah.
Sledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever they're
Yeah.
called. They're not quite a sled, but it's like a
Yeah.
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 One end drags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ranier's very carefully pulling it.
Yeah.
The St. Bernard pull. We're doing that.
Yeah.
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 I don't think I necessarily want to leave the beasts out here, but I don't think
yeah.
we're in any condition to haul them back.
We're gonna say too that while you're fighting, you did notice that Ranier was not with you.
Oh.
And when he comes back, he's a few minutes after your battle ends, he comes back and he's got like a big chunk, a bite on his
Oh.
shoulder. So there was actually a 4th burned beast.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's taking care of it.
Good boy.
I don't know if it's dead or ran off or what. He's victorious. He's looking like kind of proud.
Picking some soot out of his teeth.
Yeah, definitely. Like he's got a little bit of like burns a little bit around his
Ooh.
mouth. Nothing too bad. Nothing at all like life-threatening, and he's not limping in any way. In fact, he's doing a little bit like, I beat the thing. I am amazing. Like that little doggy, like proud, like standing a little taller, kind of wagging his tail. And then until he sees Aerlind, and then he's upset. And he's like, his little ears are like up, like he's like looking at you. The little ears. They're giant ears. They're very big ears. But like doing the little thing where they're just like really attentive. Oh.
I tell him in Sindarin, I'm okay. I'll be all right.
He takes a sigh at that and relaxes. Weird. Anyway. And you make your way back to Sausage's home. Much to the dismay of all the kids who thought you were still inside.
We come back looking wrecked.
Yeah.
Dragging back
seriously.
into town.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're just like, what? They were at the like you just see them and they kind of scatter. Like once they actually see like you've been through adventures, they're like, oh, my parents are gonna be mad at me. Let's scamper. And you get inside. Yeah. And
100% on the way back in. Like he's still using the axe as the walking stick. So that's intimidating to Hobbit children.
Yeah, I get everybody in. Like as soon as we all get in, I start, getting accommodations ready so that we can get you into bed, like really properly dress your wounds. Everybody can wash up and get wounds dressed. Yeah. And start making sure that everybody like has a comfortable place. And when that's done, I kind of just collapse in a chair.
Yeah.
Spear leaning by the hearth beside me. And you just hear like the sound of my breathing kind of heavy in that sitting room, in that living room. Aerlind, where do you want to get some? Do you want me to just like...
I think it's wherever he's put.
Okay, sure. All right.
I think, Aerlind, if it's all right with you, I'm going to leave you on this couch by the kitchen so that we can get water and food by you quickly if you need it.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I feel like you've been fussing over all of us now, so as soon as you sit down, Runa's like, right, my turn. And like drags herself to the kitchen to like get everybody water and prepare a snack. She's like, I'm sorry for going in your kitchen. We need food.
It's all right, my kitchen's your kitchen.
You bring some bacon for Ranyar.
Oh, yeah. Ranyar earned it. It's like, you bring the dish. There's a lot left over. It's a big, gigantic pile. It's like a mountain of bacon. So,
I have a feeling that Hannar gets into the, finishes filling the tub with hot water, gets in, and falls asleep in there.
Warp soup.
Yeah. He'll wake up sometime hours later, cold. But for now,
Pruny,
super
right?
comfy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I think we start our road to recovery at my place.
Yeah.
As soon as I can kind of muster up, some strength in me, I am gonna go down to Michael Delving, and I'm gonna call up the elders and whatever sheriffs are there, and I'm gonna say,
Let's make sure no one is listening. This is for your ears only, but me and me friends went up to the hills just west of here, and we found 3, possibly 4 dark creatures that we dispatched. Their remains are still up there, and I do not feel good about leaving them there.
And I will kind of hint that we should send a party of folks up there to kind of like drag the bodies out of the woods.
Okay. So one of the elders is her name is Ginny Tankerdrot. And she is very like old for a hobbit, but has like the presence of like 4 hobbits. Like she like walks into a room and it's one of those things where like no matter how quietly she entered, like everyone kind of just knows, like they all kind of turn and kind of defer to her. And she's kind of one of the most influential people in Michael Delving. She does not actually have an official like role. She's not the mayor or anything. She hasn't been elected, but her family is very influential. She's not rich, but she just seems to be kind of involved in everything all the time. Just one of those people that everyone kind of respects and gets in touch with. Is involved in things like very on the up and up, it seems. It's not like Michael Delving, like Mafia or anything like that. I saw like the eyes of like, wait a minute. just kind of a long history of like being good, upstanding hobbits that don't go on adventures and eat many meals. And she has what used to be like blonde hair, and now it's like a white with like little tinges of like of like a gold blonde a little bit in a few places. And like she's very kind of hunched over, and she's got a cane that she leans on. That it's a very nice cane. Like it's not like raw, like it's like turned wood, so it's very nice, and it's got not a precious stone, but like a stone at the top, like tiger's eye or something like that. And she leans very heavily on it. She needs it to walk. Dark beasts, you say? What kind of dark beasts are they?
Like wolves, but bigger. And underneath their fur, their skin burned. Their blood would cause steam to rise from the cold ground.
Oh, I grab my spear and I show them where some of the haft was singed and like the metal was darkened a little bit.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, no,
I'll say
absolutely.
I dug my spear into one of them, and look at what happened.
Why? That seems like something from a story. That's are you putting us on now, sausage?
Ginny, in all my days.
Excuse me. That is Madam Tankerdrop to you, young'un. I remember when your parents were born.
You're right, I must.
And she does the thing where she kind of waves the cane and like taps it on something random in your direction. Tap, 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 tap.
I ask your forgiveness for not knowing my place here. It was no disrespect intended.
Given.
What was it, Madam Tankerdrop?
Yeah.
Tankerdrop.
Tankerdrop.
Okay.
My wise Madam Tankerdrop. In all my days that you have known me, well,
Which is all of them.
my older days.
All the days. I've known all the days of your life.
Let's not bring my childhood into this.
No, fair.
In my days as a sheriff, in my days since, let's leave it at that. Have you known me to joke about such things, to make light of a serious situation?
No, that is quite true. You do gallivant a bit on adventures, but you are stout-hearted and true to your word. Even, well, we said not to talk of your childhood. All right, fair. Very well. So, you said that they were like wolves, you said?
Yes, fierce, large maws, burning skin.
Oh, my.
Incredibly disturbing, to say the least.
Yes.
Listen, if you have any doubts, I am weary, but I shall use whatever ounce of energy I have to lead a party of stout, able bodies up there to drag these things out of the woods, perhaps just at least get them somewhere where, I don't know, we can keep an eye on them, or at least take a look at them, see if we can get a better idea of what we're dealing with. We believe, me and my friends believe, that these are the things that have been starting fires.
Oh, my. Well, I don't think we should be dragging them out of the woods and causing a panic for all the people.
Yeah.
But sending some up there to take a gander at what is up there and perhaps burn the body. Do they burn?
I do not know, and that is why I do not want to leave them unattended.
Yes, well, perhaps bury them or whatever after doing the appropriate examinations on them. And you said how many were there?
My friends and I saw 3
Right.
and slew those 3.
Well done.
there may be one more. Its fate I do not know. We may have to do a search for it.
Oh, so you may have missed one then.
Or even, perhaps. I have it in good faith that it may be injured, which is something. If it is not dead.
Very well. Well, we will send some stout, hearty hobbits with you. How about your larger friends? I bet they would do well to carry heavy things.
I shall certainly let them know. One of my friends are not, well, my fellowship are not in any condition to trudge back into the woods with us. They sustained some fairly serious injuries.
Oh,
They
we are
shall
sorry.
be they shall be taking respite at my place. But I'll show kind of like my own wounds, right? Or like give a hint of my own wounds. I'll say, these things were vicious. If my friends do not wish to join us, if they wish to stay in the Bang Burrow and take their rest there, I would appreciate it if we did not force them to join us.
Yes, we wouldn't dream of forcing those from outside of the Shire to handle our business. Although we are thankful that they did indeed intercede in this particular case. Very well. And best wishes to your fellowship friend.
Thank you very much, madam. I appreciate that.
She kind of like looks around and like there's like the mayor there and a couple other people. They all seem to be like, yeah, in agreement.
Okay.
Mostly like they have a little bit of a council like talk about it. Like it's not like a full council because this is silly to do. I don't want to do a council
council.
over. Hey, can we
The
get the dead
shortest
bodies of the wolves
table.
out of the But I also don't want to role play with myself. So imagine they have like a conversation. It's not just Ginny like running everything, but she does have a very strong voice in it, and is well respected by all. And they send. We'll say there's 6 very like stout, strong hobbits, and they go up with you and examine. Would you like to role play that out, or?
No. I think. Well, I mean, I'll run over to my place real quick and let the two of you know, if you're interested in joining us. But I also am very, I am very clear that like you two have done plenty, and if you want to rest and recuperate and tend to your injury, tend to your own wounds, like do that. I got 6 hobbits, you know.
Runa's like, that's cute. I'm coming with you.
I look at you appreciatively. There's like a slight little hint of puppy dog eyes for like a second as I'm like, oh, and then I like wipe that off because we got work to do. So.
Yeah.
I think Hannar will stay to take care of Aerlind.
Okay, yeah.
Aerlind, who is asleep.
Right. But at some point, we'll likely wake up and need food
Sure.
or a changed bandage or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he like goes over to whatever room he was staying in. He comes back and he's like, and he hits the axe on the ground a couple of times and like holds it out for you to take.
Oh.
If you need to. You're going out there. We don't know what happened to that 4th one.
I will take it. You should be safe here. Keep Aerlind off her feet, okay?
Try not to throw it in a lake.
I promise that it will not go anywhere. I cannot get my hands back on it.
Fair enough.
You know what? I go to the hearth. I tap that little secret chamber. I pull out the thing, and I'm like, I think you deserve this.
No.
If Aerlind wakes up, make sure you share it with them.
All right.
And I pop it down.
For sure.
You know, and then I look at you, I kind of like give you a little, determined nod.
Yep.
And then we go meet the other hobbits.
Off
and
we go.
Yeah. I don't think we necessarily need to roleplay it out, but I think
we do need to figure out what we want to do with these things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think you can't burn a thing that is burning already.
Yeah.
So burying it seems like the best plan.
Would it be a
To
good
me.
idea? Actually, no, now that we're here.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, 6 hobbits, 7 hobbits, and you kind of like standing, around these things.
And the other hobbits, when they get there, it's kind of like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
like it's like a big thing for them. Like, this is very scary. These are probably the scariest things they've ever seen or heard of
Mm-hmm.
in their lives. And seeing these, they've cooled over time, but they're still warm to the touch. Like, they're about what
Yeah.
you think a living thing would be like,
Oh, wow.
temperature-wise now.
Yeah.
Even though it's like
Wow.
hours later.
Yikes.
So-
Okay. When we get there, I'm going to say, I'm going to point to a couple of the hobbits. I'm going to say now, you 3. Actually, before we do anything with these ones here, take a quick swipe off the lands. Where did I see Ranyar coming from? Like, in what direction? North, south, east, west?
He came, we'll say the east, like down,
Okay.
he was down the hill a little bit
Oh.
from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to send them kind of like down there.
Okay.
Don't stray too far, at least not where we can't hear you or you can't yell for us. See if you can find signs of a 4th one of these things. If you don't, come right back.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll scan for them.
Sure.
It's also Runa and the 7 hobbits, and it's making me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Very good.
Circumstantially, it just
It's
worked
very
out.
good.
I didn't even think of
Yeah. Happy dog dopey, you all good. No. Okay, 9. So that did not.
No,
it
they
did
are-
not. I think
and-
they're a little nervous. after
Yeah,
seeing
and they're in
these things.
awe of these things, and they're so close to their house. Like they're looking down the hill.
Mhm.
You don't notice, but like they are more focused on how close they are to home.
Hmm.
Like they're looking at these things and looking down the hill. Like they can see their homes. They can see like the little schoolhouse. They can see all those
Oh.
things from here. So it's ways off, but it's still way too close for comfort. So they are very they're very distracted and not looking very closely.
Okay. These things aren't going to burn anything anymore? Like if I put a hand
Oh
on
no,
them?
no, they're not that warm anymore.
Okay.
No, you can touch them now, even
Yeah.
if you dug your hands into their fur.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're like,
they should be
They're now
cooler.
body temperature.
yeah, they're now
Yeah,
body
yeah,
temperature.
instead of
When
like-
by now
yeah.
they should be cool.
Yeah, cold core.
Yeah, they are stiff
Ugh.
though, so they kind of
Okay.
are in whatever their temperature for rigor mortis would be,
Sure.
because they're so used to being like their body temperatures are so high when they're alive.
I'm going to turn to you, Runa, and I'm going to say, I don't know how I feel about just burying them here. I'm wondering if maybe you should wrap these things up, stick them in a couple of barrels, and throw them into a lake.
That's not a bad idea. Do you have a barrel big enough for one of these?
I look at you like,
Come on now.
you just saw my cellar.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think water is probably the best thing for them if we got something nearby.
Mm.
I wouldn't want to plant them and have something sprout.
Ooh.
Burning beast bushes.
Yeah. I do want to check them over to make sure, like, I don't know, there's not a weird magical artifact stuck in one of them.
Mhm.
There aren't little
There
burning
wasn't
beast
a fish.
eggs like, in there. Yeah.
True.
yeah.
Maybe we can find another one of the paladins.
It's inside this belly.
We already have one problem. Let's
Yeah,
find
we
another
do.
one.
Yeah.
She is
We'll
on a
make a
mission to
necklace of
find
them.
them all, so might as well start looking here.
Yeah.
We could just start making Palantir jewelry. Just a big ring that you just wear. Like,
We're just using them to communicate with each other from far distances. Like we're in a cave, like, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
Let me show you. Where we...
Worst
Let's
Oh,
sending stones.
They know, yeah.
I see you're at the market. I require more beer.
Is that like a
Oh my
scan or? a
Yeah, we'll have you
word?
roll scan. You're looking for something.
Yeah, examine closely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The dice. You're real hot and cold today.
So are the wolves.
Oh.
Sorry.
For a minute there, I was worried about it would be us.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Yeah.
after that
Okay.
first round of hit, I was like, oh.
Good lord.
Nothing spectacular, but I do succeed.
Okay. You notice, like, as you're examining one of them, it was the one that had been hurt originally by your trap, like back and its like upper teeth, there's like a ring. Not that ring. Everybody take a breath.
I was just excited for jewelry.
Yes. So it's like a silver color, and it's got kind of a strange, like a yellowish gem in it.
Mhm.
Sort of like, I don't know, like what we think like a canary diamond, but it's not that. It's similar to that. It seems to have kind of like streaks of like a darker mineral in
Ooh,
it too.
interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
All right, and I'd like to have you roll a 1 dice.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
Just a quick question. We don't know where all those other rings went. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, there was a fleet of them that got out in the
That's a
world.
pretty decent
There's-
idea of where they are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There are some missing in
There
the
are
world.
some
Oh,
missing
great.
for sure.
I got a 6.
A 6.
Oh,
Okay.
delightful.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Slash horrifying. It's either as good as it gets or as bad as it gets.
All right, and please roll.
Oh god.
Oh boy,
Please
here
roll a
we
feet
go.
die for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess the
Nested
hobbits are getting
tables.
finally getting one of those rings.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing if it came up a thing.
You just see
Oh
Okay.
the
god.
old grandma put on the ring. Oh,
Does the whole Galadriel speak?
yeah.
All right.
Roof on top of this barrel.
So this the ring is not look, you have a ring. So
Okay.
I know what it is now because that's what your dice, but you don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's a pretty
We
ring.
gotta spend time figuring it out.
Yep.
I put it in my
mystery.
pocket and save it for later.
You don't want to put it on your finger?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not right now.
Kai's like, please no, stop.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
Runa's a treasure hunter. She knows
She
you never
knows
put the treasure
yes.
on until
Right away.
you figure out if it's cursed or not.
Of course. No, yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. I was just
Touch it immediately,
Yes.
obviously.
Are you gonna show that you found something? in
No.
there? Okay. Fair. Yeah, we've got other things we're thinking about. So, all right. I mean, I think if we can grab it, maybe we'll haul it a little closer, but not so close that folks are just gonna come and watch us haul 3 gigantic dogs.
well, where's the water we're gonna put them in?
Yeah, that's a good
That's what
question.
I'm looking at a map of the Shire.
Yeah.
They're like-
Water.
We take them to the
There's
water and
the
then we bring
only
the barrels
well,
to them.
right? We have to.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some water sources. Like we can say, I mean, there's not like a lake nearby, but well, we can say there's streams. I don't think there's any body of water super nearby that would be big enough to
Okay.
dunk 3 of these giant wolves in.
Okay. All right.
There's not like a
Is that
marsh or something.
is that a river called the Water that
Yes.
goes by
Yes.
Hobbiton?
Yes, so you can roll them a couple days travel if you'd like,
Yeah.
There's also hold on. Look.
because you're Michael Delving right now.
Dump it in
Yeah.
Hobbiton.
That seems like a bad plan.
Where's the district
Huh.
that one guy is the sheriff?
the wall.
The wall.
Well, he's here in East Farthing.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, he's in West Farthing. Yeah, that's where we are.
I'm sorry, West Farthing. Yeah. Bastion is East Farthing. I tracked to Numinous and tossed him. I mean, I don't know how. Like the last time there were dark things in that
I don't
water,
think we
knew
should
how
throw
that
anything
turned
else
out.
in that lake.
That lake's not
I
even
mean, there's
part-
there's
Yeah.
a bog like maybe a day's walk north.
Okay. A kind of like wetlands by the water.
Yeah.
I imagine.
It's called Rushok Bog, according to this map that I'm looking at.
Okay. I would.
Bogs don't like preserve things well forever or anything.
No,
It's
not known for
probably
that.
fine.
Oh, sure. Right. It's
So,
not like they were
yeah.
tromping through those in the movies with the bodies or
we
anything.
bump
like
us to the map so that people can see what we're talking about.
Oh,
so-
right.
So the bog is up near the edge of the water. So at least on the map I'm looking at, it's looking Roshik Bog is almost like kind of northeast. I mean, obviously the maps are all drawn a little differently.
Yeah.
Of course, the map I'm looking at doesn't have the oh, there it is. There's the water. Yes, it is a part of the water.
Yeah, so it's kind of up near where it says the North Moors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a little bit like west of there is kind of
Okay.
where it's marked on my map anyway.
Yeah, it's like the
Huh.
northernmost part of West Farthing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a gross suggestion.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Acid bath.
I'm
I-
concerned that a gross suggestion from Sam.
Yeah, this is what
growth
I'm
for
saying.
our tone.
Okay.
Not for me.
Okay, yeah.
As a hunter, when you take something down, it's easier to transport if you dismantle it.
Cut it down.
You chop it down.
We
into
don't need a
little
big
bits.
barrel if we're not putting the whole thing in it.
Alright.
Okay, I mean that's actually not out of tone. Like
No.
breaking
Yeah.
down
I've
an
hunted
animal
wolves.
that you've hunted and like using different parts of
I
it.
tried real hard to make it
Yeah,
into
no,
a-
that makes
really
sense. You did great. You did really good. Yeah, I mean it may
Okay.
be like a world where you want to keep some of these pelts and things like that too. Like I don't know.
Hey.
Cursed pelt.
Maybe.
Cursed pelt.
Fire
mean-
pelt, fire pelt, fire pelt.
Well, as far as you know, like these aren't cursed
Okay.
animals. They are
Okay.
they
It's
are
just a beast.
yeah, they're beasts, they're scary, but they're not like the fish that you fought that have been
Directly.
like
Okay.
Okay.
corrupted.
Gotcha.
These are more along the lines of that like I said, they're not evil.
more like
Yeah.
a naturally occurring monster.
Yeah, like something like that.
Okay.
Like there's something that obviously like breeds and like continues itself.
Yeah.
So they haven't been like handmade by the darkness to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, in that case, like if everybody's amenable to the hunter solution to this problem, I think we should dismantle and scatter. So it's not buried in one spot, which is good. We don't have to carry it a day to the water, and we can take some pelts home.
Yeah, I turned to you and I looked at the other hobbits, and they have varying expressions on their faces.
Mhm.
And then I'll turn to you and make sure that they all hear me say, "No, I trust your judgment. Let's do that."
Thank
You-
you, sausage.
You do notice like there's one stubborn hobbit who's kind of been arguing the whole time, like just burn him, and you do notice he's over like in the like by one of them, like when you weren't looking before you start breaking him down, he like uses his little flint
Flint and steel,
and he's
huh?
trying to burn it, and it does not burn.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And Runa just kind of smirks and goes
Yeah.
about her business.
Yeah.
I know
He
what
finally
the
kind of like looks around and hopes like nobody's looking at him, and then he puts it away and like walks away from it like he wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
But
All right. I guess we start getting to work and
Yeah.
doing the horrible deed. We'll
Mhm.
use your axe, the axe that you lent me. to
Sure.
I think-
Start
well,
hacking
and,
away at
and
these
well,
things.
and you probably honestly you wouldn't see this as a horrible deed.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
yeah.
from an
Yeah.
agricultural society.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
we've-
to slaughter
there is a
animals to get that
tanner.
bacon you
I'm
loved.
sure there's a tanner in town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, this
Like
is a
we've
perfectly
dressed
normal
animals
skill
and
that
stuff before.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a
most everyone has.
yeah.
Yeah.
If someone hasn't done this on wolves specifically before, but just about everyone has broken down a chicken or a
Yeah.
goose or something for dinner. So this
Yeah.
is probably the most normal part of your day,
Okay.
other than what it is.
And, like legit hobbits have leather belts and boots.
Absolutely.
No, not boots. Duh.
No,
No.
But
but
Yeah.
leather
Leather
piece, yeah.
goods, leather
Yeah.
hats.
And they've got
Yeah.
beef. And you all had bacon for breakfast, so
Yeah.
we know how this
yeah,
is.
yeah. I think
Now the fact
it's-
that they are these big beasts is
Yeah.
is like the exciting piece. But like once you start breaking them down, you realize that there's very little exciting about them now that
Okay.
they're passed away. They're not burning you. Inside, they seem like almost like just big wolves. Like there's
Okay.
not
Okay.
anything strange about them. And in fact, even their teeth. Like a couple of the hobbits were really excited. They're gonna have big teeth, like these amazing teeth from this monster. And they're kind of disappointed. They're like, oh, they just kind of look like big wolf's teeth. No one's gonna believe that they're from this thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say actually, if anybody asks, these were big wolves. Nothing more than that.
Yeah. A
Do
couple.
not-
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a couple of them are starting to like. I think Sausage is making up about the burning thing. Like these are just like I think some of them are even starting to
Sure.
already buy into the rumor that you're
Yeah.
making things up because
Okay.
it's fun.
You know what? Actually, I'll let them like
hmm
believe that.
That's for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Whew.
So you end up with like these 3 large pelts. If you wanted like bits like teeth or bone for any reason, you can do that. nobody wants the meat to eat. Like there's a
Oh,
little
sure.
bit of like the, we're not sure about these things that much.
Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
anybody had tried, Runa would be like, "Oh, we're not.
No,
yeah.
This is not for eating." No.
Yeah. Yeah. And they break them down. So you're burying parts of them, or what? You just wanted to, or what did you? What was your plan?
I break them down
Okay.
and then bury them. So like we're not burying a whole one.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because Runa's pretty sure it's not like the fish in that it's not a huge evil.
Mm-hmm.
But just in case, I don't want to bury it intact, just in case it comes back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do that. You break them apart and bury the bones over here, and the rest over here, different all those things.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. I am going to say a couple things that you might be interested in. You would notice as you're breaking them down. Generally, you could use parts of like the intestine thing for like
Yeah.
bowstrings and such
Yeah.
things.
Sinew.
So you may like take bits of that for like
Mhm.
Aerlind's bows. So a couple useful things like that.
Okay, sure.
And then
Um,
you already have the pelt. So you have the pelts, and then you have
Yeah.
like some of the innards to make
innards,
into
okay.
bowstrings.
think,
I'll. Go ahead,
Runa's
go
gonna
ahead.
take some teeth and claws to put in the family archive.
Okay.
Do you want to take like a whole skull?
Yes.
Skull. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take at least one leg bone
Okay.
to carve into a flute.
Cool.
Okay.
You know, maybe not now,
Mhm.
but sometime down the line.
Okay. You absolutely do that. We'll take like I think it's a femur, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
Uh,
it's called a femur in dogs, but
the
or in
femur.
animals.
Oh yeah, I
Canines.
guess they have multiple.
Yeah, it's that one. It's like the big
femur's the
thick.
thigh bone.
Yeah,
right?
like the big thick upper leg bone is the one you
Yeah.
take.
Oh, it's gonna be like a big,
I mean, it doesn't have to be
big
that.
old.
Like
No.
okay.
I'll invent. I'll like carve out a Hobbit shakuhachi.
Yeah, it's like the
You know?
bassoon of flute.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking too because they are pretty dense.
Yeah.
Like so that way you'd have enough material if you wanted to carve
like-
intricate
okay,
stuff
sure.
on it.
Yeah,
You'd have
yeah.
enough material.
All right. Yeah,
So
we'll
even
do
if you
that.
made
That's
it
awesome.
into a very refined, delicate delicate instrument, you'd
Yeah.
have enough material there to
Okay, sure.
have it be very ornate.
Awesome.
Okay. And we're gonna wrap that up, and that goes, and you take these things back down with you, and you are back home.
That evening, I mean, after I've checked on you and seen how you're doing, I will tell everybody, it seems like we might need to spend a little bit of time here. I don't want to push Aerlind. Well, actually, I think, if you're resting, I'll gather
Mhm.
Runa and Hannar, and I'll say, I don't think we should travel with Aerlind in the shape that they're in.
No,
I don't want to travel in the shape that I'm in either.
I agree.
Good
I think I'm
point.
definitely gonna have a lie down in a minute. I don't think any of us are fit for traveling right now. Least of all, Aerlind.
And when we spend some time here,
Do we, out of character, do we want to turn this into a fellowship phase?
I mean, this
before
was a
we move
pretty
on?
big endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like just settle in for a couple of weeks and then get everybody back up to snuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get at least to the end of the Fire Dwarf season.
Us staying here is prolonging Fire Dwarf
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it went from like
Yeah, a whole
one
thing.
day, like Halloween, to now it's like
Yeah.
ice season.
On the 12th
That's
day
how I
of
feel
Fire
about
Dwarf,
Halloween.
Yeah.
Fire Dwarf gave to me.
Yeah, like the last 2 weeks of August.
Yeah. I think Hannar, I'll turn to you and I'll say,
our precious little thing. Do you want to? If we're gonna be here a while, do you want to maybe like stick it in my cellar inside a cask hidden?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to leave it anywhere. The same reason why we didn't want to leave it when we left.
Of course, I understand that certainly.
But yeah, having a hidey hole for it is a good idea. I
All
like it.
right. Okay.
I mean, it would even fit in your little fireplace nook.
If you feel all right with that, then of course. I shall leave that up to you as its, as its caretaker. You put it in there. If you want me to set something up in the dark of my cellar, I can certainly do that too.
No, I think that's fine. That's
Okay.
a good spot.
Mhm.
But if we're leaving, I'll take it with us.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I think we've got a
Because
fellowship.
it's slightly too large to just casually be constantly carrying it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Just on the awkward side,
Yeah.
like carrying a basketball everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Just,
A couple
oh, you're hungry. I'll go get you a sandwich. Hold on.
Honk.
and then,
The fire dwarf and his magic pearl.
yeah. The third year in, I went,
Oh,
we missed
no.
an opportunity. We should have brought a bundle on and been like, hey, guess what we found in one of those beasts? No. No, I gave that up in my childhood, apparently, so.
Oh.
All right, so we're setting our duration for our fellowship phase.
Yeah.
So you said how long do you want it to last?
At least 8 days.
At least 8 days.
No reason.
Oddly specific.
I think 2 weeks gets us all back to hale and hearty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 weeks destination. You're going to stay here. Do you want to? I think you need to. You can
Yeah.
technically go to like Bree if you wanted to.
That's true, and then we would move out of the Shire with the pearl.
Oh, get a little closer to our destination.
Yeah, but that feels weird.
It does feel
because
weird.
The
It
whole
feels
point
weird
is because
that
we're not ready to travel.
travel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right.
I agree.
Unless there's like a wagon that would take us there, and it's not really like a journey. Then
I mean, you can if you want. That's doable. I mean, you also like the people in this town, at least the elders, know you saved you did a huge thing, so they will provide transportation if you want to. But I also agree, like part of the reason you're not going is because you want
Yeah.
Aerlind to recover.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll
let's,
just chill
we'll
here.
stay
Yeah.
here then.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean-
yeah.
Why don't we like split the difference? We'll say your fellowship phase takes place here. Then, kind of as a thank you, they will like provide you with a cart, so we can
Nice.
skip the journey phase to get to Bree.
Okay.
Yeah,
There we go. That
That's
sounds
beautiful.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Wonderful.
All right, so perform updates. Players can spend skill points
Oh god, so
Oh.
many skill points.
I know.
Right?
to develop
Now-
adventure skill ratings through training. Adventure points to increase either your wisdom or valor, and enhance combat proficiencies like growth. And then remove the number of shadow points as determined by the Loremaster and spiritual recovery.
Shadow points. God, I have to recover everything. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
this is our first
Yeah.
time since you guys have gotten the shadow points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, because it's not actually something I should be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
The taking the virtues for adding wisdom, a wisdom point. I just want to see how you try this on for size.
Mhm.
Could I possibly take the elven virtue
Oh.
of the memory of ancient days?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's a good one.
It's a
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
good one. It's
makes-
been very helpful to me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense with what you've seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely. Like most dwarfs know you, yes.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't doing it to try and
I
cheat.
love-
Oh,
It
no, I
just
know.
Was like that makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's awesome. I
and it
love
makes
it.
more sense than like the dwarven choices.
For right now,
Right
now,
absolutely
yeah.
for you, yeah. All right. So
Real quick,
Uh-huh.
what according to my records, we have 20 adventure points and 20 skill points,
Yeah.
depending on what you've spent. Does that sound about right?
That's where I'm at.
that's
Okay.
total.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Some people have spent. You've all
I think
spent
we've
part of
spent a pace, you and
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
So that feels
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
it. Let's see. And since this is the end of end of summer, this is not a Yule one, so it's just normal. For spiritual recovery, you recover your hope equal to heart, and you remove shadow based on your actions. So you're going to
Okay.
need to
Ooh.
look at the page with those actions because we haven't actually done this yet.
Yes. Oh, I was just saying,
Mhm.
if it's equal to our heart, then the Shire heals me and makes me whole.
I think you have to, let's see. Spiritual points as determined. Oh, I see. I get to choose based on what
decide.
yes. I'm
Yeah.
like looking for where's the spiritual recovery table? There's so many tables. I'm going to say, especially with the taking out of these 4 beasts or 3 beasts and possibly this 4th, like you're feeling very enheartened. So I'm going to let you clear 4 shadow.
Oh, the word.
Plus 1 more. I'll believe you can do 5 because of kind of the great like experience you've had with these little Hobbit children, giving you, and like all the fun little just wholesome bits of being in the Shire has kind of like reinvigorated like your hope for life and the good things in the world and all that stuff.
Does that make us
Okay.
both square?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
No more shadow.
Also, there's something very fulfilling for Aerlind to like leave Mithlond, have a purpose, like sacrifice something really big for something he cares about a lot. Like the whole thing is very
Yeah. And spending that time in Mithlond is part of that. Like 5 points is a lot, but you've done a lot since you got those shadow points.
Yeah.
And you've also managed to kind of stay strong and deny, like you're not touching the Palantir. You're kind of fighting those urges and those fears and things like that. So all of it together, 5 total.
Beautiful.
And all the little Hobbit kids with candy.
so
That's
cute.
worth 1 by itself. They're so cute. All right. And remember, you can buy no more than 1 rank in any skill or combat proficiency at a time.
Okay.
But we can do like double valor or wisdom because there's only 2 of those.
Yes, those are just skill and combat proficiencies.
Yeah.
And combat proficiencies you buy out with adventure or skill points? I can't remember. Skill points.
Adventure
It's-
point. Oh yeah.
It's still skill points.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
all right.
valor that
Valor and wisdom.
Valor
are
and
the ones
wisdom
you
are
get
the
adventure.
No, adventure points to increase wisdom or valor and enhance combat proficiencies.
Okay.
Oh.
what?
So skill ratings is training, and that's skill points.
Got it.
Oh, dig it.
I'll figure that out. I guess narratively, while everyone's staring at their stuff, because I am as well. But I know a little bit of what Aerlind's actually doing, which is besides resting. I think the moment that he's mobile again, he goes out to the garden, and he's not super mobile. He got gotten in the leg by a giant firewolf, and goes to one of the sturdy trees that's in Sausage's yard that we know are there because Hannar hangs a hammock there.
Yeah.
And goes up to it and asks the tree for permission for a branch and takes a branch. And it has a twist to it. Like it's an old oak tree that's got a gnarl in it. And it just so happens to be shaped enough that he can put his arm in it and rest it there comfortably. And uses it as more of a supportive cane with a wrist rest in it. Than just a cane on its own, and uses that to walk around town, and every day starts to just walk through Michael Delving and talk to the children and take notes and find out about all of their adventures and learns of the Fire Dwarf and asks them questions about the Fire Dwarf, and thus the Fire Dwarf story grows and grows and grows.
Awesome.
But records new stories. Knowing that, again, one day these stories will travel with him when he does leave.
Awesome. We're going to say, too, that while you're doing this, it takes generally for like a large hide, like a full deer hide, generally to cure it and to tan it into something that could be usable. It generally take about 5 days. So these 3 large wolf pelts are processed. And so you were able to... They're not sewn into cloaks or anything, but you have like this soft leather like wrapped up with the fur still on it.
Awesome.
For that you can take with you as well now.
Cool.
You know what? Another shirt. Can I take some of that hide
and take it to a Hobbit armor, because I gave my spirit touched leather armor
Mm-hmm.
to Bastian.
Oh yeah.
I can spend 12 adventure points to gain. I think it's favor. To get a new reward, to make it cunning make leather armor to reduce the load.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'll do that, and I'll have them like hammer, kind of like little fiery burning patterns along the hide.
And we're gonna say it gets an extra +2 armor against like fire or heat
okay.
attacks.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to make this a cunning work.
So and that's
Quick, let's go fight a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So the armor does kind of complain about how it was a little hard to work because and generally you wouldn't like mold or like you're not blacksmithing that either. But like using hot needles and stuff is generally something that would speed up the sewing process.
Oh sure.
And it
doesn't.
And it does not.
It does not at all. Super annoying.
We clear our fatigue too, by the way, right? With this fellowship phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
We reduce. Okay.
And you get all your hope back. Or I know you get hope for equal to your heart.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm almost
Yeah,
up.
I'm full up again. Yeah.
Nice.
It's good because I need
Same.
In terms of our activity as a group,
Oh yeah,
would we want to consider writing a song for our journey?
a ballad.
Ooh.
Mm.
We should probably resume our study of maps, which we forgot about, but it's very helpful, especially where we are going.
Yes, that's fair.
True.
That is true.
But we do get one freebie, and I think
Mhm. So you can compose a lay, which helps with councils. You can compose a song of victory that will help with combat, or a walking song to help with journeys.
Mm.
I was leaning towards a walking song, but you're right. The maps also make a good.
But with a messenger, I think we can still compose a song, correct? Am I?
And that's the champion of the song.
Champion.
Don't have
Yeah,
a-
so study magical items is treasure hunter. You can strengthen the fellowship, which is free for a captain. You can ponder storied and figured maps, which is free for a scholar, but none of you are scholars.
Nope.
So if you want to ponder storied and figured maps, you can do that, and then you can have a free one with the messengers meet your patron.
Oh.
You can do strengthen the fellowship since you have a captain. And you can study magical items, which is something you can do since you have 2 treasure hunters.
And we do have a magical item to study as well.
Mm.
I do.
Well, if you let us know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a you choice.
Yeah. That mischievous grin tells me you are not
Nope.
doing so.
Not until I know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also down for the song and trading it out, given that we've done okay at traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could also strengthen the fellowship for free with a captain, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then pick one other, right?
Mm-hmm.
The captain one would be the freebie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your fellowship rating goes up to 1 until the next fellowship phase. You are doing a new fellowship phase, though, so you have lost your +1 on the journey event table, which we kept forgetting about anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, we forgot about it, but it would be really helpful
Yeah.
where we're going.
I mean, unless we redo that as our not free
Right.
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's the walking song. We should probably look exactly how that works.
If we succeed a song roll
Uh-huh.
during that activity, we can ignore weary
Oh.
until the end of
Which
that
is
venture.
pretty big.
That is pretty big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Okay. So yeah,
Just
we'll
because
compose
it's a
walking
long journey,
song.
that's why I was looking at it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna start in Bree. Don't forget. So you're going from Bree to Rivendell, which is still a long
Still
journey,
long,
but it's
yeah.
not quite as far
Yeah.
as like from Michael Delving to Rivendell.
well, yeah, but Bree to Rivendell also is not in the happy town. Like,
Yeah,
there's
which is
bad
why I was
things
saying
between.
the maps.
Yeah.
I can.
It's a
Yeah, I can
50-50
see arguments for both.
I'm fine either way. Like, I'm not committed.
We like singing. Aerlind
Yeah, we
likes
do
maps.
a lot of singing.
I'm
Yeah.
good on both.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got pretty good song. So.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you just listening, there's different phases in One Ring. There's journey phases where you go across the map and different things happen. Right now we're doing a fellowship phase, which is after a large event. This is where the players are allowed to spend the points they've accrued through their adventures. They get to like rest up and heal. Those who have shadow damage have gone and healed that. So it's basically kind of like a little break. And so we've decided to take 2 weeks in Michael Delving, which is in the Shire. And because we just fought off a whole bunch of big burning beasts, which are like fire wolves kind of. And one of us was very injured. So we're taking this time to heal up. And One Ring does have like very kind of time, I won't say time accurate, but like timed things. Like it takes time to heal. You can't just magically cast a spell or drink a potion. It's like if you are hurt a certain amount, you have to sit in for 8 days and have it heal. So that's part of what we're doing now.
That's actually one of the things about Lord of the Rings that I like a lot. Is It's high fantasy, but it's very low magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Accurate.
Because magic tends to just break worlds when you're like, oh, well, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have limbs removed and I'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think another thing that happens while we are there is that Aerlind, after the stuff that we got from the burning beasts cures and the sinuous stretched and twisted and all of that stuff, they fully take everything off of their bow. The grip, the obviously they unstring their bow, they do everything. They completely clean it, lacquer it, kind of start it over again. And re-wrap the grip with strips of leather from these hides and re-string it. And gonna come up with a name for it. Don't have it yet, but it is actually going to become a keen bow.
Nice. Excellent. And what's the difference with a keen bow?
It drops the piercing number to 9.
Ooh, excellent.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's a
Very
worthwhile choice for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's something that, that's how that went down. So he's thinking that worked. That made him feel heroic. And so we're going to do that again.
You're going to notice just forever, for the rest of the time you have this bow, when you hold it, when you grab this grip, it's not warm, but it's not as cold as it should be. It never gets cold, really. So it's just a little bit of, I don't know if that you want that to inform the name or anything like that. It's just kind of like some thought. And the same thing when you grab like the string and you pull it taut, like there's always just a little bit of like warmth on your fingers.
There's a little bit of warmth on your fingers if you're drawing a bow like that anyways.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But it's you know what I mean.
The elven version of a heated steering wheel.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Which you don't know you want until you have one.
Right?
You have
Yeah.
it. And you're like, wow. Okay. Yeah. So who is keeping the other 2 hides?
I'm probably gonna keep one unless anybody objects.
No, go for it.
Are you just keeping it as a hide or?
I think maybe. Let me look at armor, actually.
Okay.
1 sec. I need the table that tells you how much stuff weighs.
That's a good call.
I think over the course of our stay, Hannar spends some time like subtly trying to dye his hair more red over the stay.
Okay.
Hannar, why are you picking so many berries?
Yeah.
Just mashing them up in the kitchen.
We'll say beets.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go.
Because I feel like there'd be a lot of those in the Shire. That's
So many beads.
so many beets. And okay, you absolutely are able to do that.
Yeah, just subtly, not like it's not. He didn't bleach his hair out so it's bright, crazy purple red, but just he has like a dark blonde, similar to my kind of hair, like dark-ish. But like all of the highlights in it are now fiery purple red.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't think the hobbits have anything that I could sharpen my axe with. But
Well, we would have something.
well, you'd have
I
like a
mean,
sharpening stone or whatever. But it is like
we gotta keep our spears sharp.
it's a
too.
super
Yeah.
classy dwarven axe. Like,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with magic-y kind of abilities to it. So, but I would oil it up. And,
I think I am gonna make leather armor out of it and switch to that rather than my mail shirt because that endurance is real useful.
Yep.
Mhm. So helpful.
I carry almost nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what armor did you make?
It is cunning make leather armor.
Okay.
And it's this sort of like dark hide, right? Like darker than.
Okay. And it was 12 points you spent for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 4,
Okay.
8, 12. Yeah, to increase my valor to 3.
Okay. You can have cunning if you spend it. I don't know if there's for just regular leather. I don't know if there's skill points for that. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
But we can look that up in between sessions. I feel like we can like kind of wrap up and
Yeah.
then we can
Yeah,
finish all the maths
Yeah,
in
yeah,
between
yeah.
sessions.
Yeah.
And then
that's
so Hannar or
Mm.
Aerlind, who would take the last of the hides? Would you want it?
I mean, it would probably just be sort of like a travel cloak for me. I don't have plans to make it into armor.
It wouldn't become armor if Aerlind kept it.
Mhm.
It would become books.
Ah.
Like fireproof books.
It would become.
That's
It
cool.
would. Yeah. It would
Oh.
become books.
I support
That's actually
that.
really
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, I like this so much that I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So I'm going to give you the cloak, or the thing. But I'm going to say that as different people are making these different things,
Yeah.
you're
All the
getting
scraps.
scraps big enough to make books out of.
Cool.
Like-
So they're not huge tomes.
No, it just
Yeah.
books.
But yeah, so I'm gonna say that why don't you get one or you get 4 like medium-sized journal-y type
Perfect.
books.
It's like the armor that they made for me didn't take a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
why I
a
assumed I
whole
could
lot
have like a
that.
strip
Yeah.
of leather
For
as
sure.
well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to also just something you can make out of a strip of leather. I'll have I'll let you and Sausage share one.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're
Perfect. Yeah, you're a
awesome.
hobbit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Cool.
are you gonna
I think I would just stitch it onto the sort of reversible cloak that I already have.
Okay.
Line your cloak.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're gonna see all of you when you can't wear your books, but even when you hold your books, there's like this weird warmth. And you will have like extra if you ever like in the snow during our adventure, things like that, you will have a little bit of extra protection against like the elements from these cloaks and also a
Okay.
little bit of extra against fire.
I'm
Nice.
counting on because I also have a question.
Okay.
Heat reactive ink exists in the world,
Ah.
and I would love Aerlind to have heat reactive ink so that when the book is closed, it is blank. And when you open it, it takes a moment, and then the text appears.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
That's cool.
Very good. Very cool. Yeah. Absolutely. Love it.
Secret journals.
Yes.
Yeah.
My secrets. Very good. Okay. Make sure you add all that. I won't make. How much do you have a weight for your cloak?
It's just clothing.
Okay, then that's
Yeah.
fine. We won't make it any like super heavier.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my adventure points to up my valor so I can take close fitting on the new leather armor,
Nice.
which gives it +2 protection on protection rolls. And I'm gonna say that she has it made into like a tunic that has the fuzzy side on the inside. So you get those like seams that have the fuzzy bits, but then the outside is like the smooth side of the leather,
Yeah.
so that like blows glance off it easier, and then the fur on the inside helps keep you warm.
Love it. Perfect. All right. Very good. And if you are wearing your item, you get plus. We'll do +1 against fire. I know yours is +2 because you're like
It's
have the
leather.
super fancy and you
Sure.
spend a bunch of points on it.
Okay.
But the two of you get +1 against like specifically like fire and heat
Okay.
type damage. And also if you hold your book
My
between
book will
you
get
and something.
burned.
Yeah.
That's what I care about. That's why he was like, I'm
You
like,
use your book as a shield, you'll have
Nope.
+1 too. Okay. Awesome. All right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Let's go ahead and end there for today. We'll start off our next adventure in Bree. So we'll like have that journey with the cart and the help of the elders of Michael Delving. So we'll start in Bree this next time. We'll say that you're staying at Runa's house.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my grandmother gets offended if we stay anywhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super mad. And we'll see if you tell her about the Palantir.
I did send her a very cryptic.
You did.
letter.
She's anxious to, yeah. We
But
will
now
s-
I have something else I can say is the thing I
Yeah.
was talking
That's
about.
good.
Flaming wolf skull.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Or the ring.
Or the ring, other
thing
than
I'm
this.
wearing.
So we'll say that you will arrive in Bree like very late at night. She's not going to be rude and like insist you tell her everything. But so we'll start our next session in the morning of like breakfast, maybe with salts, and
Salt question mark.
yeah, question. And then we'll start with that conversation over breakfast.
Nice.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for session 13 of the Unsung Tales. It has just been amazing. Thank you so much for our chat mods for their amazing hard work. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we're able to play games that we like without having to worry about ads or sponsorships or any of that stuff. So thank you so much for helping us build this incredible studio. If you can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. My name is Kimi. I have been your Loremaster. You can find me at Golden Lasso Girl pretty much everywhere on the internet, and you can find the games I design at goldenlassogames.com. And we'll go this direction today.
Ah. Hi, everybody. I'm Kadave. I'm still Kadave from the last time I said that. Things going on in the world. It was just announced that the Renaissance Pleasure Fair here in Southern California is opening a week later than anticipated because we've had so much rain here that is unusual for us. But it gives us time to actually get it all nicely built and wonderful and ready for everybody. So if you happen to visit Southern California from mid-April until the end of May, on a weekend, come out and see myself and likely many other people that you see on Happy Jacks appearing out there at random times, having a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. I played Burl, Sausage Brandy-bottom. And let's see. I'm going to be DMing a few games over the upcoming weeks. Let's see. Whew. Boy, oh boy. That tea. I'm going to blame this all on the tea.
There you go.
Blame the tea.
The tea, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to be DMing. First of all, I DM every Saturday for the organization that I work with, Hero Workshop. Saturday at 7 p.m. in Culver City. Those are game nights. It's a free D&D event. Feel free to come over and roll some dice with me. I'm also going to be. I'm working with Alamo Drafthouse to run a D&D game.
I saw that.
Yeah, for their Dungeons and Draft House event on April 2nd to coincide with the release of the Honor Among Thieves movie.
Yeah.
Rock on.
We've got this custom homebrew campaign that we're going to be running for folks out there. Let's see. And then also I'm going to be DMing at the D20 Cruise, which is this awesome like convention at sea. And that's going to be like the last week of April-ish, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly. But if you're interested in any of these events, please follow me on social media. I am Transplant Asian on Instagram and at JAfrica, pretty much anywhere else, still kind of doing the Twitter thing, but I'm also on Mastodon and Hive. And
All of us just everywhere, just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. To see if it's not going to be like a burning hellscape at some point or other. Keeping fingers crossed. But
Yeah.
follow me there. Check out what I'm up to. And I will be back here next week.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. You can find me on all social media platforms as Estelle of Imladris. It's down here. You don't want me to spell it. It's Durin. I did this myself. Tomorrow, I'm so excited. The web series that I was the costume designer for, The Party, which is about a group of friends that play tabletop games together, drops on YouTube. The first 2 episodes will be available tomorrow, which is at Party Web Series on all social media platforms and at Party Web Series on YouTube. So if you can just go YouTube/@PartyWebSeries, it'll take you right to the site. You get to see the first 2 episodes. The whole series is going to be free. We have special guest stars including Becca Scott, Allie Beardsley, Vince Casso, some other incredible surprise guest stars to come. It's going to be so fun. We got to watch the first few episodes last week for the premiere, and it was to die for. So check that out. And then on top of it, I will also be on What We Do in the Shallows, which is a 5e pirate campaign on Saturday, where I play a very different kind of sea elf who is very impolite.
Yes.
And I will then be back here on Monday, very excited to not be dying.
Yes. And maybe we'll get to Rivendell.
Someday.
Right.
We'll see.
Maybe, sometime. Hi, I'm Sam. I have played Runa of Bree. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials. I'm going to try real hard to have a couple new designs in my shop this weekend. I'm working on the last one right now for my Spring Nightmares collection. It's very silly. So if you want to check it out, you can go to stiarnastore.com or just look me up on the socials. I'll be posting way too many things about it. And then other than that, I will be here on Mondays.
All right. Thank you so much. You can join us next Monday for our next session. If you want to catch up on all our past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/unsung tales. And for all the other APs and 25 plus different systems, you can go to happyjacks.org. All right. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.